We just simply need to make a nostalgia podcast. Darkwing Duck, are we just going to go down this hole?
No, not right now. We have a podcast to do. Maybe the post show. We'll do the post show podcast. Where after Bronyville, we just do another show completely and talk about random stuff.
Absolutely. Everybody's yelling bonkers.
The Brony Grill.
The Brony Grill. Something like that. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. Starry, could you start the video record? Oh, wow. That is totally off. Okay, cool.
I'm better than you.
I appreciate it, I guess. All right, let's do this.
Pro now.
All right, Tombstone may be joining us shortly. He's gone radio silence. He said yes, and then he just went dead. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, no, they've gotten him. Okay, well, let me go ahead and start this. And we can just figure it out once it comes. Oh boy, and I'm gonna have to. Oh god, let me figure out your names. I can say Lavender without a problem. Do you want me to just Neth? Do you want me to call you Neth?
Yeah, it's Neth but Neth is absolutely fine.
Okay.
There's too many syllables in that. Anyway.
Should I just call you Mav?
Most people do.
Okay.
Okay. Good to know.
I'm looking at those names, going, oh man. Okay. I'm just gonna do that. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bronyville. This is Bronyville episode number 110. Thank you all for joining us. Recorded on June 15th, 2013. I am your host, Apple Cider. Hello. Glad to have you all listening with us today on this fine Saturday that we are doing this live recording. Hello to everyone on justin.tv/Bronyville podcast listening to this live. We have a jam-packed show full of pony and full of fun today. As always, my co-host is Chef Sandy.
Howdy, howdy.
How you doing, sir?
Doing good.
Still making ridiculous-isk?
Yes. I am making ridiculous amounts of isk.
Good.
I am space rich.
You're
Except I'm not.
Except not really. That is fine. It's been a productive week, and there's definitely been a lot of pony news to go along with it. We are Equestria Girls, dude. It's happening.
It's happening.
It is this weekend that the madness begins.
Yep.
So, well, I'm sure that we'll start hearing stuff. I know the two of us are not going out to go see any of those particular premieres, but I'm sure that we'll find a way.
Yep.
All right, well, we have some returning guests, I'm not even sure. Have any of you actually been on... We've definitely had individuals from Buck on before, but I'm not sure if we've had you three on before.
No, it was a different set last time. I believe you had Ruth, Andrew, and possibly Peter last time.
Yeah, they were quite silly. I just want you to know, if you're trying to check up on them, yes, they were quite silly.
Yes, I did tune in.
Yeah, but we do have representatives from Buck coming back in again because of some new announcements that they want to make about the convention. So let's see. Let me go through this and give you a little introductions. And some of them have some very complicated names, so I'm shortening these down. Our first introduction, I will go ahead and give Neth.
Hello there.
How are you? And what do you do over at Buck?
I'm okay, thank you very much. I'm deputy PR manager.
All right, excellent. And we have Mav.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
I'm glad you shortened it. Not many people can say the full name of Mavra McCarley, but there we go. I'm actually the vice chairman.
Okay, excellent.
All right.
And Lavender. I can say your name much easier.
Nice and simple. I myself, I am the music manager, but I've become a bit of a jack of all trades as far as Buck stuff goes. So
happens
I'm popping up everywhere.
Happens more often than not at conventions.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, excellent. We have you three here, and we're definitely going to talk about your convention a little bit more and what new stuff you have pointed towards those that are going or may be interested to attend Buck. First off, there's some very important questions that must be answered before the show stops, or before the show starts. If you don't answer them, the show stops, and that's bad. We've never had it happen in 110 episodes, but it's risky. Okay. So I'll start at the top of the list. Neth, I must know favorite character and favorite episode.
Well, favorite character is going to be Fluttershy. And favorite episode, not very original given my favorite character, but it's going to be Putting Your Hoof Down.
Interesting. So let me, since you are a Fluttershy fan, I have to ask, why Putting Your Hoof Down opposed to, say, Hurricane Fluttershy?
Hurricane Fluttershy, it's a good episode, but I don't know. I think it shows too much of, she goes through all that effort and she's still crap, which I thought was kind of a shame. It would have been nice if she'd had a little bit more to show for all the effort she'd put in. Putting Your Hoof Down, I think, it shows a much broader dimension, because it shows it's not just Fluttershy being who she is, it's showing why she's that way and what happens when she's not being who she is. So I think it shows quite an insightful side to her character, personally.
All right, excellent. I'll accept that answer. Moving on, Mav, favorite character, favorite episode?
Favorite character is, of course, Rainbow Dash.
An ex-fave character for one of the co-hosts here. And
loyalty is everything.
Absolutely. And favorite episode?
Well, that's quite hard. It's probably a toss-up between Winter Wrap-Up and May the Best Pet Win.
And what's the benefits on both of those for you?
It's got to be the music. Winter Wrap-Up, because aside from being a very good episode, and I really do like the story, I found myself shoveling snow off the drive when we got snowed in, singing Winter Wrap-Up.
I can't imagine you doing that, Mav.
No, but
neither can I.
So it must have been good if it got stuck in my head that much.
Would it have been wonderful blackmail material, it sounds like.
Probably, although no one would dare. The other May the Best Pet Win, it's just a very, very good Rainbow Dash episode. And why do we not see more of Tank? Where has he vanished to?
Yeah, he's appeared. He's appeared in tons. He's actually pops up a good amount in the comics.
Yes, comics. He needs more airtime.
I'm just saying, opposed to the amount of times that you might see Owlicious or some of the other odd pets. He shows up every once in a while.
I suppose so.
Yep.
But yeah, it's between those two. But there's so many good episodes. It's really hard to pick.
Okay, no problem there. And finally, Lavender, favorite character and favorite episode.
All right. Well, my favorite character, pretty much everyone should, if they know me, they know it's Octavia, right off the bat. And favorite episode, Magical Mystery Cure, I think.
Choosing the finale.
Yes.
Why so, huh? You like yourself some winged Twilight?
I just think I'm interested to see where the show goes, because we've had 3 seasons of there's a confrontation. The confrontation is resolved. We learn a lesson from it. That's been the format. But now that Twilight, the main character of the show, pretty much has got this key role, I'm interested to see what different dynamic is introduced. And the whole episode was basically a musical, and being a musician, that was just fantastic music.
I do hear that a lot of just like, it was so musical. It even won awards for being so musical.
Yes, I heard the main complaint that it felt rushed, and the first time through, yes, but when I rewatched it, not so much. So it's kind of, but yes, it's definitely my
thinking about that, does that mean she has to write letters to herself now?
Dear Princess Diary. That kind of goes along with my feeling that all of season 3 ended up feeling like it was rushed because of less episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Discord episode very much seemed like you would have been a great 2-parter.
Yeah, the irony is, apart from, I mean, granted, yes, Keep Calm and Flutter On, that was very rushed, and that really deserved a two-parter. But the rest of the season, a lot of people say it was rushed and things like that, but really, it's just simply because there were fewer episodes. The episodes themselves were of just as good a quality, I believe. It's just because there were less of them, we have less to pick of our favourites from. Whereas both season 1 and season 2, there's so many episodes to choose from, it's very easy to find your favourites.
And I believe one of the, I think it was Brony Curious made the observation that if you go through each season, pick the episodes that are your favorites, the ones that you thought were good, and the ones that you thought were meh, and you do them as percentages, it's pretty much even between all of them. It's just the halving of it, of season 3, that made it seem a lot. There was a lot worse episodes in there, but it was just...
Just think, there was just less to pick through. There was less to be like, yay! This is the top tier. This is the Sonic Rain Booms, and there was since there was just generally less. There, you had to, you didn't have as much to actually pick through and go like, I like these. I'll ignore the Feeling Pinky Keens of the world.
If anybody hasn't actually seen the Brony Curious reviews, you really have to watch them.
I was going to say, I have to confess I have not seen them. It's the first I've heard of them. I might have to look those up.
They're fascinating.
Starry's having fun with filters. Are you, baby? No, you're not having any fun with filters.
Oh, I see. You're suddenly melting there.
I guess so. I don't know what's going on. All right, well, let's go ahead and move this forward. Thank you. We'll talk about Buck in just a moment. But before we do that, Sandy, we have sponsors.
All right, we do indeed. We have 2. First of all, We Love Fine. WeLoveFine.com. Purveyors of fine pony clothing and other such things. They've recently added a bunch of stuff on sale for Father's Day. They have some new pony shirts. They have some new LED shirts if you want to give people seizures. They're like really blinky. They have DJ Poem 3, a couple of them. The little Game Boy looking dude from Adventure Time, whose name I don't know.
Meebo!
Okay. Let's see. There's actually quite a few new pony shirts. There's 5 at least. Then there's some... oh, neat. There's some... Oh, darn it. There's a bunch of cool stuff, but primarily pony stuff. There's a couple Derpy shirts. Derpy Doctor, Derpy and Dinky, a Rarity shirt, Apple Bloom shirt, stuff like that. Use your coupon code Bronyville10. Take 10% off. That'll help with the shipping.
Absolutely.
Okay. Other than that, also, I just closed the Justin TV tab. Whoops. Nightmare Nights Dallas, November 8th to 10th, 2013 in Addison, Texas. That's the con that I'm heading up with Bob and a good number of our friends. And we're looking forward to getting as many of you as possible down here. Check out our site at nightmarenights.net and find out all the information for yourself. And now we're going to go on and talk to a different convention.
Absolutely.
We're going to talk about Buck.
That's across the pond, as they call it.
It's such a small pond.
It is. You could just get a puddle hopper. Hundreds and hundreds of years ago, they just got a paddle boat.
It's okay.
Just skipped across. So yes, Buck, that's in the UK, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Where is it located?
We're at Manchester, which is sort of pretty much smack bang in the middle of the United Kingdom. So whether you're north or south or east or west, it's pretty much in the middle.
Okay.
Excellent.
We hired the Bridgewater Hall, the full thing, with the auditorium and everything. It's a massive concert venue. They normally do like orchestras and things. So we have this amazing auditorium that looks like something that you'd see on the movies, with a stage that's like the size of my house, or maybe the size of your house. It's really quite amazing. I'm looking forward to that. The acoustics, you can whisper and hear, so the music's going to sound amazing in there. And we're going to do all our big panels in there. We've got a massive screen the size of a truck to do laser shows on. And we thought, that would be great. We'd do this 2-day convention and get all this stuff. But we wanted to offer something more. So just because we want to offer, really the best experience that people can have, we've hired the Manchester Central Exhibition Centre, which is across the road, which is even bigger. And we're doing a huge party, a big musical fest on the Friday night.
5 hours of pretty much continuous music from, I believe, 11 musicians and some more collaborators as well, along with that.
Wow.
Such names, Living Tombstone performing, Acoustic Brony is performing, Rainbow Crash 88 is performing, Wooden Toaster is performing, which I think is a first, General Mumble as well, which I think is a first. I myself performing, Addictia, Tay the Pony, Icky. The list goes on and on and on. We've got a huge show lined up. We've also got a laser show planned as well from Laser Pony.
Laser Pony, yeah.
Yep.
So his stuff in the Brony Duck looks good.
Yeah, we actually have a mini site for it. It's so big. You can actually visit summersuncelebration.co.uk and see the full list of people who are playing there and what's going on. It's pretty amazing. I mean, I'm not as excitable as some of our other staff members who I believe on the last show they're on were screaming and things like that. But I really am excited.
It's going to be huge. I think. Have we still got the bass cannon lined up as well?
Oh yes, we're building a bass cannon that's as tall as my house.
Genuine bass cannon.
You're going to kill all the attendees. Oh no!
I'll load it on the back of a truck and then set it up in there and then blow your socks off.
Please, all warnings to those that are going to buck. They intend to undo you. Do
you dare approach it?
They are going to dubstep you so hard.
That's right. I mean, it's hard to explain what we're trying to do here. I mean, the Summer Sun Celebration, live music, rock, metal, rave up, like the best club you've ever been to, with glow sticks and glow performers and lasers and just people moshing everywhere and a bar at the back with copious amounts of cider and just, yeah.
That much loud music and lights flashing everywhere, somebody's going to think that it's going to be an episode of G.I. Joe.
It's going to be amazing, and literally it's, 5 hours straight. All our VIPs are turning up, so you'll be able to see John Delancey there. You can see Cindy Morrow
is going to be there. Yeah.
And other VAs that or VIPs that we may not have announced yet, maybe there. Yeah, it's going to be really, really quite epic.
It's pretty much it's nothing that's ever been seen. It is literally going to be it's going to be huge. It's going to be mega and it's going to be awesome.
Even if you can't make the whole convention for the whole weekend, come along for the Summer Sun Celebration. I mean, where else could you go? People go clubbing in Manchester on a Friday night for 2 or 3 hours. Where would you get this amount of live performance for 5 hours straight in one of the biggest venues in Manchester? Well, in the country.
Yeah, I mean the ticket price is coming in at just £15, and I paid double that to see a 2-hour set from a local band. So £15 for 5 hours of music and all of the performance and the venue and everything. It's going to be huge, and it's going to be an awesome night out.
And speaking of performers, I noticed that one of them just joined the call. Hey,
Hello.
Living Tombstone.
How's it going?
How you doing, sir?
Long time no see.
It has been a very long time. Great to have you back on the show, man.
Howdy.
Yeah, long time.
Yeah, how are things in Israel?
Going good. Very, very good. Very well.
Excellent.
I don't know. There's nothing really changed. So.
Oh, that's good. Last time I saw you, and I hadn't seen you in person in a very long time, but your area of the Brony Dock was excellent. That was exceptionally fun. So,
thank you.
Good to have you. Are you looking forward to heading up to the UK to be part of this whole Buck extravaganza?
Yes. And no. No, because it's going to be insane. Like, I know from just reading about what's going to happen in Buck that it's going to be lots of people coming, performances, and I'm not, that much of a performance guy. But I'm excited regardless. So it's just that it's gonna be hectic as hell. So
Yeah,
I'm just excited just for the fun of it.
Yeah, I know you're a little bit more of an introvert. That's fine, dude.
Tim,
No,
can I
it's
just
that I never. Yeah.
can I just say that from seeing you at BronyCon and you calling yourself not a performer guy, I'm not too sure where you got that one from.
I was going to say, I
No,
actually
just
watched
that- no,
Bronyville
I'll
the other
explain.
night.
No,
Absolutely
I'll
rocked the stage, man.
I don't know. I'll explain why. It's just coming from me is that I just came with an iPad and just pressed play like Skrillex. So I was very disappointed in myself. I wanted to do more than just that. So which is why I'm more stressed about the next performance because I want to top that somehow and make it more interesting because it's going to be a longer set.
Do we need someone to construct a Living Tombstone head for you or something, so that way you can
No.
go out all like Daft Punk style or Skrillex style?
Somebody suggested that somebody would get me a rarity costume to go in buck and incognito so nobody would know. And I thought it was like the best idea ever. And just like during the performance to take off the rarity's head and then appear in front of the live audience like, hey, I was rarity all along. Figured funny.
We had
Last
last year we had a cosplay competition and somebody actually cosplayed as Tombstone.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like a lot of my friends who saw that, they were like, "No, he doesn't look like you. I mean, he doesn't look like me at all. I mean," and I was like, "Okay, whatever."
Crowds. We could have him out front, and they'll think, "Oh, that's Living Tombstone," and then we'll sort of sneak you in at the back.
Got a security stunt double.
Yeah,
Or,
that
or,
makes sense.
or just simply go up as the spy from TF2.
Nobody will know the difference.
Just a cardboard mask, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly like the spy. Yeah, and go like that. It's like I'm not Tombstone. I am Rarity.
What are you talking about? Obviously, I'm Big Macintosh.
Yeah.
Uh,
Then just backstab him like in Team Fortress.
Yep. Oh no. It's getting dangerous here. Well, good to well, tell you what, Tombstone, since we have you on and we had you late, we do have two questions that I have to ask you just to make sure. Favorite character and favorite episode?
Favorite character is Rarity. And favorite episode has to be from season 1. Green is in new color, where with I forgot the name of the character. Photo finish.
Good choices.
Big photo finish
Yes.
fan over there.
No, I just love the episode because it's one of the more like laugh out loud episodes from the entire show. So I just enjoyed it for just the humor aspect.
So the Summer Sun Celebration is actually like the Friday part of the con. You don't actually have other stuff set up for Friday, or is it all just on the weekend?
No, Friday is just the Summer Sun celebration. It's all about the music on the Friday. Then the con proper is on the Saturday and Sunday.
Which is why we specifically made it as a separate thing. So, because a lot of people work on a Friday and all that stuff, but the tickets for the Summer Sun celebration, are £15. That's kind of a top up to the main con ticket, but you don't need to be at the con. For people that can't be there for the weekend, they can get a taste of the VIPs and the musicians and everything that's going on.
Yeah, and last time you guys were on, you were still working on the site, and so this is actually a really cool idea. Plus, the extra, the £15 ticket will help cover the additional costs that you incur getting it going. So that's smart.
Well, it is an entirely different venue. Completely external. So there's a lot planned.
Massive venue, massive amount, huge amounts of speakers and lights, inputs and outputs, and all sorts of electrical wizardy boxes for the live artists within too. And it is going to be.
Should say also we're getting out a professional audio system for it. It's not going to be your pub PA. It's going to be a full-on sound system.
Yeah, this is the
Festival grade equipment.
Yes.
The technical chat that we've had going on, it's a whole nother language. I mean, I'm an IT guy, and I look in that chat, and I'm just like, I don't know what these guys are talking about, but it sounds impressive.
Yeah, he does R&D for BBC. He knows what he's talking about.
Okay. Excellent. So let's do this. Where can everyone find out about the Summer Sun Celebration and therefore Buck?
Well, the best place to go for is the mini site we've made, which, as mentioned earlier, that's the summersuncelebration.co.uk. You can also find all the information on our main website, which is buckcon.org. So you go to either of those websites, summersuncelebration.co.uk or buckcon.org, and you'll find all the information about everything right there. You can also go and get your tickets directly from there as well.
Okay. So you've recently added some more guests, some actual Hasbro guests, and so you've had to change some things around. Why don't we talk about who all you recently added?
Yes. Well, I mean, of course, as you guys probably already know, we've already got John Delancey coming, so he's going to be heading everything up as well. We've just announced, as of last Monday, I think it was, Cindy Morrow is going to be attending as well. So obviously, for those of you who don't know, she's senior writing staff. She's done a lot of the very popular episodes, including Winter Wrap Up, I believe, which obviously is in Mav's favour there. So she's going to be attending. She's going to be on our panels as well. We've also got, although they can't attend in person because of time restraints, we are going to have a cyber panel featuring Amy Keating-Rogers and Megan McCarthy as well. So we've got a lot of the writing staff in. So it's going to be a really good chance to get a really good insight into the show. Talk to all the writers who actually know where everything started out from, and they'll all be together as well. So, I mean, a lot of these places, you get one writer, they ask questions, and they're like, oh, well, I didn't write that episode, so I don't really know. But as I say, we're going to have 3 of them in the same place at the same time, and John Delancey there. So it's going to be a huge insight into the sort of behind-the-scenes inner workings.
I'm really looking forward to that, because the writers create the show. All the things that we love, that the VAs put across to us so well, are created by these writers. And just get into what they're thinking and how they created this is really a great opportunity. I'm very much looking forward to that.
Absolutely, and I'm going through the community guest list that you have here. As you mentioned, tons of musicians that are going to be attending. Tons of also just general community guests are going to be in attendance.
90.
Yep, absolutely. Our friends over at Celestia Radio are going to be there. Some of these I haven't heard of yet. Legends of Equestria will be there. That's pretty cool. Absolutely. So, yeah, go check that out. That's over at buckcon.org. You can go check that out. And then, there's a big link up at the top for the Summer Sun Celebration. You can check that out. Is there anything else you guys want to pimp real quick before we move over to the news time?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mav.
Yeah.
The thing I just sort of say is, it just struck me today that, people work and they might be traveling from work on the Friday. It doesn't matter. If you turn up halfway through the Summer Sun Celebration, it'll still be worth it. When I go out to a club, I don't worry about when I get there. I just turn up, and then whatever DJs are playing, I enjoy it till the end of the night. And at that price, you can do. I think it's really worth coming, even if only for half of it. It's going to be a very, very good opportunity to see some brilliant, brilliant music.
Okay, and was there, I forgot who had something else they wanted to add.
Nah.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I was just going to say, of course, as well as, obviously some Sun Celebration and, with the show guests we've got attending those panels, those show guests, the VIPs will be making an appearance at the Summer Sun Celebration, so you get a chance to see them there as well. But in addition to that, as well as the panels, we've also got a whole host of workshops and demonstrations and everything going on at Buck. There's going to be so much to see and do there, I mean, the demonstrations, as the name as suggests, you get to see a lot of the people in the fandom, like the artists and so on. Actually, they're doing artwork and they'll be making music, and you'll be able to see them at work. And the workshops will be a chance for you to get involved as well. I mean, for example, Sketchy Sounds from Everfree Network. He's going to be doing a little workshop where he shows you how he makes music, and he's going to give you a chance to sort of have a go as well. So you'll be able to actually sit down, see how it's done, and actually learn how to do it yourself. So a lot of people who are out there going, I don't know how to be a creative brony, it's an actual opportunity to get involved and actually have a go. So it's going to be mega.
That's the way to do it.
I have one final thing I want to add.
Fire away.
A bit of news that we actually only sent out yesterday. It's not really circulated that much. I'd like to get it out here. We are also, as the musicians that are attending, releasing an exclusive album for Buck called Party at Sundown. Most of the musicians are going to be on board for it. But I believe General Mumble, Addictia, Tay the Pony, Speedcore Dave, who's one of the performers at BronyCon this year, is adding to this album. And there's a whole, I'm trying to get absolutely everyone involved on it. And these tracks will be absolutely exclusive to Buck, and there'll be music that you will not hear anywhere else. You won't be able to get anywhere else. You will only be able to get this at the convention from these artists.
Okay.
Oh, very cool.
Absolutely awesome. Very cool. So go check that out. Attend Buck if you can do it. If not, go ahead and check out, try and see if you can attend. They've got 2 great events that they're putting on. If you can make yourself over there. If you are in the UK, there's no reason why you shouldn't go. If you're in Europe, well, that's a good reason to make it too. And if you can make your way across the pond from wherever else in the world, go ahead and see if you can make it to either the Summer Sun Celebration and or Buck coming this summer.
Especially even if you're on the continent in Europe, it's not that expensive to get over to Buck these days. It's a lot cheaper than people think it is. And as well as that, in the middle of Manchester, there's loads of sights to see. I know quite a couple of friends who are actually making sort of a bit of a mini holiday out of it. And they're just going to be coming up for sort of, some people are doing a whole week, some people are coming for a long weekend. And they've got not only all the sites around Manchester to see, but the convention itself as well. So, as I say, for not a lot extra, they're getting a whole holiday out, the whole thing.
Okay, awesome. Well, let's go ahead and move this forward a little bit. We've got a ton to talk about, especially some Equestria girls.
Ooh, it begins.
So, let's go ahead and move across over to news time. First off, Sandy, as always, before we do the news, we take a gauge of the fandom fire status. Fire status is...
It's waiting.
It's pending. We have a pending fire status.
We don't know what's going to happen. Well,
there's a dull glow.
Yes. Well, we know what's going to happen. Equestria Girls is going to come out, and then people will be silly and overreact.
Yeah, I expect a bunch of wiggles. I expect a lot of...
There will be noodles and arms and all that fun stuff.
Great.
Yeah, the supposedly near final Equestria Girl dolls, their images have leaked out.
They've still got ears and tails. What's with that?
Yeah, and they also have, if you look at Sunset Shimmer, goodness. She has like the weird cutie mark on her face, but also on her leg there's something, and she has 2 colored legs. She has one that's orange, one that's yellow.
Huh.
What does it mean?
It's stockings or something, maybe.
It's the club card, and their faces are like identical.
Yeah, remember when we saw those prototypes and we went, eh. And then you saw Applejack's prototype and you went, it's the same thing.
Yeah. Well, at least they gave them better clothes than what they're doing. I mean, they're not as hideous.
Applejack's looks identical to me.
Yeah, weird denim skirt with horseshoe design. I'm going to guess some sort of cowgirlish bustier thing, and totally not a cowboy hat.
It's got like a bowler.
Yeah, I don't quite know what to take about that. But yeah, helpfully further down the page, there is the prototype showing of the original image that popped up the last couple weeks. And they are only... Well, actually, Applejack is Applejack. It looks the same. Twilight's dress is different, at least. Yeah... Those will be popping up at the shelves at your local Target and whatnot probably pretty soon. I don't think anybody here is going to run out and purchase them. Just guessing.
Worse than Barbie.
Yeah.
Oh god, do I really want to waste some money to actually see which of those 6 prototypes actually look the best? Probably Pinky.
Fluttershy.
Pinky looks all right. Rainbow Dash just looks so off. Like looks more like a goth princess to me.
What?
Like look at it. Like the image, just the fact that she's got the cutie mark like right below here.
What, they put the cutie marks in her
Yeah, like right on the cheek, so it's right below her eye. It looks like she's got like one of those goth little like tattoo teardrops.
Oh man, that means she's killed somebody.
Huh? Is that what?
Have you ever seen Crybaby?
No, I haven't. It wouldn't surprise me though.
Rainbow Dash, merciless killer.
The blood thickens.
So
Yeah, so that's Equestria Girls. Also, I'm not sure if it's in the actual news right now, but the first actual release of the movie is tonight.
yep. There was something posted by Megan McCarthy earlier today with her and Jason Thiessen and somebody else, and Jason was wearing a derpy shirt under his under his suit jacket. So
Yeah,
they're keeping it classy.
You know, and let me say this real quick. For all the times that we're pretty down on Equestria Girls, and I think everyone is to some extent rightfully down on it for reasons. From all indications that we're getting from DHX is that they're pretty proud of the product, and all indications what it sounds like is that they received the product about a year or so ago, went, what the heck, how are we supposed to make this, and then found a way to actually make it work. So they're pretty proud of what they were given and what they were able to make out of it.
I think it's really important that the fandom... Sorry, go ahead, Mav.
I was just going to say the same thing. You have to give credit to DHX for the work they do.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say the same thing again. I think we've got to remember that DHX have very much been spot on every line. It's not their fault if they have a ropey concept to work with. Mm-hmm. But they've been handed some pretty ropey concepts in the past, a la Canterlot Wedding, and they've turned that into something that's really good.
Oh man,
so it really can be done.
You want to hear about? I've got some. I tell you what. After the show, I'll tell you about a ropey concept I heard about that was unbelievable, and luckily never went through. But yeah, there is they I think that they made what they can out of kind of something that I think everyone when they first saw it went, "Yee? Huh?"
Yeah, I mean it's I don't like Equestria Girls on a conceptual level, but there's not a doubt in my mind that the characters will be endearing and the jokes will be funny, and that's what we're looking for, to be honest.
Yep.
There's one thing I really take issue about this whole situation. Our fandom is based upon a show intended as a target audience for little girls. Mm-hmm. And we love it. We embrace it. But oh my god, Equestria Girls is a show for little girls and we are not interested in that stuff. Why don't you make something for the real target audience, which is us? Is the Brony fandom's
You are
reaction.
a little girl, which is me. I'm a little girl and I watch Equestria Girls. I'm out the pony. Now you know. I guess that's good.
I think that's the thing. At the end of the day, you have to remember that, Hasbro is a company. They make toys.
Yep.
They have programs to sell the toys, and they want to extend their age target range slightly higher. And fine, they can do that. If we enjoy it, great. If we don't, it doesn't matter.
It's not for us.
Yeah, I think
True story.
I think it's kind of two things. One, we look at the dolls and we go and we kind of look at it and go, this is just a ham-fisted way of trying to look like Bratz and Monster High dolls. I mean, that's my first kind of look into it.
It does seem that Hasbro are a bit jelly.
How do you make dolls look appealing to people other than little girl? I mean, really? Is there a way? I really don't think there is.
Fandom plushies. I mean, the fandom
Human
plushies.
plushies are terrifying.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen any of them. I have to admit, I hadn't thought of that.
Just Google Japan and you might find a few.
I'm going to have to go incognito
Hello,
mode for
Japan. You
this.
might find a Wikipedia entry about this.
Ask Japan. They may have a few.
Okay, here we go. Incognito mode. Let me see.
Good.
Humanized.
Wait, incognito mode where you want to hide away.
You may need to make sure safe filters on. By the way,
I actually saw that someone had taken the initial Twilight Sparkle vector from Equestria Girls with her doing the weird little pose, and had actually like screen printed onto a Dakamakura pillowcase. Somebody just died.
I've got a Philly Rainbow Dash humanized here. It's got black eyes, and it's. I think it's going to eat my soul.
Sandy, this is why we're a second tier podcast. You got to understand that, right?
We're too loose of cannons.
too crazy for real networks. All right. Yeah.
Let's move on to the next bit, because
yeah, pretty much.
The next stuff is actually for us, sort of. So IDW is releasing their list of stuff that they're putting out in September. I mean, they're keeping a few months out, and there's a couple of interesting things. So they've gone and they're releasing a portfolio now. It's a artist portfolio with 11x17 prints. It's 8 prints for $20, which it's not the greatest price for 8 print. Well, in terms of artist print, that's actually really good. But I don't know what the actual covers that they're releasing are. They're also releasing the volume 2 of the Pony comic collections. This will be the Nightmarity arc in its entirety. And the one that's really, I think is cool, is they're doing a Celestia micro. Oh. Number 8 is Celestia.
Sunback.
So after the CMC,
so you got Big Mac, CMC. Well, who are the main 6 they still need? Do they have? They're doing Applejack, right?
Yeah, Pinkie Pie and Applejack are the last 2.
Okay. Then Big Mac. Then is it CMC and Big Mac, or is it Mac and Big and then CMC?
It's CMC and then not Big Mac. Big Mac. The next 2 of the mainline comic are Big Mac.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
So there's stories featuring him and the local crazies of Ponyville.
Yes, this is Tetra asking, who is Celestia? Yeah, she's Moonbutt's sister.
Yeah. And that's all you really need to know. Moonbutt's sister. She's apparently not as important to certain people.
Tetra.
A Celestia micro sounds really exciting, because Celestia, as far as the show is concerned, is a rather two-dimensional character. We don't know anything about her, really.
She likes cake.
True.
And
that's tabloid news.
Dimension.
Gabby Gums is not a reliable source.
Can you deny that she likes cake? Can you
I promise nothing.
Can you equivocally state that I know? So here's where the yellow journalism comes in.
Cake or death?
Okay, I'd rather have cake. I don't want to die. Give me cake.
I'm not insured to make any kind of insinuations.
Otherwise, the Celestial Guards might get him.
they'll say hello.
I'm going to open my door and he'll just be standing there.
Late at night, you just hear a crack of hooves, just like you didn't say cake.
Yes.
You never said cake.
You've been talking about my waifu.
No.
So we do have those incoming. Also, news on the Pony Comics front.
Well, I was going to say that Friendship's Magic, the mainline comic 11 and 12, is actually a 2-parter featuring Shining Armor and Cadence.
No.
So, they're actually doing quite a bit when it comes to the more or less side characters that people, would like to know more about in a canon way.
I wonder if they'll. I have to bet somewhere down this road there's going to be a vinyl scratch like micro.
Oh, who knows?
If they do an Octavia micro comic, my life is complete.
It'd probably be tied into Vinyl Scratch if they go anywhere close to the fandom. And I wouldn't say that they would go so far as the relationshipy part of it, but
the comic seemed to be a little tad bolder though.
I would like if they were that bold. If they were,
I can see them playing with the idea that they're best friends.
That they share a flat.
And I wouldn't even mind if they had some knowing glances at each other, just to be like, yeah, best friends. But
that's what they said, huh?
And nothing else.
So that's always good. So I mean, Ponies has been a fantastic property for IDW to have picked up. It is still one of their absolute best sellers. And the
pitching it to the bronies.
Yeah, and it's still outselling Adventures of Superman, Batwoman.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say, Starry, it's outselling Batwoman.
What is?
Yeah,
Pony.
Well, Batwoman's really
Batwoman is really good.
They've pretty much settled out to around 32,000 readers. That number has been fairly stable the last few months. Mm-hmm. The issue 1 also, went totally crazy. Speculators everywhere, all that nonsense. But it's found its audience, and it's a pretty big one. Big enough for it to land in the top 100 each month, as well as be IDW's probably still their number 1. Additionally, the My Little Pony trade, that's volume 1 that has the first 4 issues, the Chrysalis arc on it, was number 7 in terms of trade paperbacks for May. So, beating out copies of Superior Spider-Man volume 1. So take that, Spider-Man.
Spider-Mans.
Who wants Spider-Man? We've got ponies.
Let's see. Well, since we're bringing it up, and I don't know why that application popped up, have you seen the latest comic?
Yes.
All right. Shall we talk about it?
Sure.
All right. Excellent.
Have you guys in the chat?
Any of yous on this call, have you seen the latest comic? Oh, there we go.
Nope.
I must confess I have not read the comics yet. I do not have a comic book shop anywhere near me because I live out in the countryside.
I wonder if do you have a iOS or Android device?
I do actually. I've been looking at them on Apple iBooks stores.
Don't look at them there. Get the X Comics app.
Comixology.
Really?
Comixology, yeah.
Comixology,
okay.
that's what I've got right now.
Comixology.
Because it's got such a neat little the reason that it says that, and I'll show you. It's got such a neat little interface where it saves each panel. So each time you tap, it actually progresses it one panel at a time. It's actually
that's pretty cool.
Very fantastic.
I consider myself educated.
And the first time I read the Twilight mini comic on Comixology, I had the panel by panel thing. I got to the end and I felt, did I just watch an episode?
Yeah, because you're not just kind of scanning it. It actually kind of feels that way. But anyway, for any of you that has, let's go ahead and talk about Scary Nightmare Moonbutt. Or
yes,
Scary
Nightmare-y.
Nightmare-y butt. All right, so this is the end of the Nightmare-y line, the last of this particular story arc. Sandy, what were your feelings?
It was fairly action-packed. The main 6 escape, and there's a big fight in Ponyville, and there's lots and lots and lots and lots of background ponies included, and lots of little fan references. Pretty much all the popular background ponies show up. There's a Benedict Cumberbatch pony, a Sherlock pony. There's also a 4th Doctor pony. The Derpy is in there quite a few times. And Luna goes Super Saiyan, briefly. So it's a very action-packed into the arc, and I really liked it. I mean, the art hasn't been as solid as the Katie Cook and Annie Price combo team, but I'm sure everyone will be happy to know that the next few comics will be done by those two. But yeah, the IDW Pony comic continues to be a solid buy. It's $4, 32 pages, full color, high gloss. IDW puts out good comics. That's all I gotta say.
Look at that! Look at that dirt pone. She is so dirt pwned.
Yeah, she is pretty maximum derp. She's you don't mess with her muffin and or town. Yeah, she's just stomping the crap out of some shadow monsters. And Zakor is involved also. So I mean, yeah, it's a good end. It would be really hard to understand what's going on if you hadn't read the other ones. Oh, not really hard, but you'd lack the context of what's going on. Why is Rarity missing? Why is this nightmare horse looking like her? You know.
Yeah, that we did have that email last week of what's up with all this Nightmarity stuff.
Yeah,
she does look like a really awesome villain though.
Yep.
Like check that out. That's pretty awesome. Everything's all jeweled up.
She's got bling.
She does.
Stylish.
Yeah, go check it. As we say, it's pretty cool.
And Comixology is available internationally, so no matter where in the world you are, you should be able to get it.
So there's really no excuse.
I'm certainly going to check that out.
Yep.
Actually, I was surprised by some of the events in the comic because it looked like it was going to go down a very, like, all right, now we used our superpower. Pew! Well, wait, it didn't work. Crumbs.
And then stuff happened.
And there was big, crazy explosions like that.
And then hugs.
Yes.
Because it is a pony comic.
Because it is.
So yeah, it's all good, and looking forward to issue 9, which is a Big Mac.
Yay!
And on the cover is Derpy the male pony and Screwball floating around.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and there's a cider house, Run for the Roses.
There is
competition.
Ooh.
So yeah, pick it up. They're good stuff. So yeah.
Yep. The one thing I will say is that of the stuff that happened, the latest micro series, the Fluttershy one, actually was below 100 in the published list. I attribute that to the fact it was kind of meh.
Yeah, it wasn't that good.
So, okay. Let's see what else we got, Sandy.
There was a Denver Comic Con panel featuring Katie Cook, Annie Price, Tony Fleece, and Tom Ziner from the official MLP comic. Because we have comic news this week, in case you couldn't tell.
Whee!
And basically, there was a pretty big audience, and the guys over at Equestria Daily have done a bit of a rundown of the primary questions and answer. And of course, you can actually go and download the episode where they have the interview if you really want to hear the whole thing. But there's lots of little factoids. You know, how the references are covered under parody laws. You know, lots of people worried about going into a comic store and buying a pony comic out of embarrassment. They say suck it up or get it online. 98% of pony fans are great. The other 2%, not so much. MLP was the first indie comic to outsell Marvel and DC in 9 years.
Wow.
Which is kind of crazy.
I'm surprised that some of the other indies haven't done that. That's kind of ridiculous.
Yep. And the reason that the micro series was expanded further was that the Bronies bought a lot of them. So go buy more.
And the more things you buy, the more stuff they does.
Yep. So that's actually it for the comic news this week. In case you got tired of that, you can come back now. And the next little bit of news is actually something that coincides with Buck. Or no, actually, Free Northwest. Crap. It coincides with one of these cons.
Got me all excited there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ooh, what are we doing?
I hold all these conventions.
What are you guys doing now? Oh, someone else.
Well, Legends of Equestria is coming out to Buck. I saw on the list. So, but they also have a open server weekend coming up, July 5th through 7th, during Everfree Northwest. So you can go and probably check out that game.
We should dork around on it some.
Yep, since we'll be in town, we should probably check it out.
Yeah, that way we
In
could
the full
jump on
llama
there.
joke.
Yup. Go check that out.
I just gotta. You can check to see if this meets your computer meets the system requirements. Let's see what kind of beefy machine.
2 gigs RAM.
2 gigahertz dual core processor. A 128 megabyte VRAM card. And a gig and a half of hard drive space. If you don't have this, how are you listening to this show? You have an iPhone or something. So, yeah, Legends of Equestria, it's still around. We've talked to them in the past, and their project is still going on, and you should check that out. Also, they'll be down at Fiesta Equestria, so I'll probably run into them at some point down there.
All right, let's see. So what is this? Oh, we have a review of the Elements of Harmony book.
Yep, we gushed about it a lot last week, and we're really quite happy with it in terms of a fandom book that's been put out there. And TechFec from DHN has done a little pictorial review of it.
It looks like it just, little pics and everything of it. It does look really good. It does look pretty high quality. And we do like tech over at Derpy Hooves News.
And you know, as Tech puts in her opinion and says, if you've been following what the staff say and read the show wiki and all that, there's not going to be a lot to surprise you, but this is something for the non-internet super fan. So not us necessarily, the people that spend way too much time talking about ponies in our usual daily lives. But for casual fans of the show and people who would like to know more about it, would you like to know more? Here, read our holy book. Wait, no. But it's certainly a good way for younger fans and whatnot to learn more about the show.
I'm just looking at this and going like, I could see somebody buying these and selling them at conventions for a little markup.
Probably.
Yep. All right.
So you've just given me in my head right now. Ponies live in Equestria. Would you like to know more?
Absolutely. Do a little bit of oh god, I'm missing that movie again.
Come on.
It's Starship Troopers.
Yes, that one.
Thank
Starship
you.
Troopers, that one.
Yes, service equals ponification. Only you can go through the portal of Equestria if you're a citizen.
Fantastic.
Want to know more?
And it has Neil Patrick Harris in it for some reason.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you have Neil Patrick Harris? All right. Well, it looks like that is most of the news for this week. We are waiting with bated breath on some observations and reviews of Equestria Girls, so we'll probably talk about the hubbub and what's been done about that and people's feelings about Equestria Girls next
we'll
week.
We'll have a big breakdown next week.
Hopefully. Yep.
Maybe it'll wash up on the shores of the bay and I'll take a look at it. Who knows?
Perhaps.
Mental breakdown.
Yep. All right, well, let's go ahead and move this forward. We've got emails. You can always email across to us at bronyville@gmail.com. Send us across these, and we may talk about them on the show. I will go first. Sandy can be second, and Neth.
Who? I was going to say, who wants to...
Who would like to read? Anyone?
Shout at
Can do.
Okay. We'll figure out somebody, too. All right, well, I'll go ahead and start with this first one. Hello, or howdy, Apple Cider Chef Sandy, Starry, and whatever guests you have lined up for fun times this episode. Finished listening to the whole 100 plus episodes, all from episode 1 a few days ago. Been a heck of a ride, and you guys always make me laugh. Skipping right to the point, I told myself once I was fully caught up, I would finally send you guys an email. Now that I am, yay! So, with cons aplenty coming up for the current year of 2013, are there any cons any of you are really looking forward to going to? Nightmare Nights in November will be my first ever con, and I am looking forward to being there. Do any
Excellent.
Meanwhile, Sandy just ha ha ha.
There was a fist shaking there.
Yes. Do any of you guys and gals remember your first con and how nervous or excited you were? Well, that's about all the time. Hope this email gets read on the show.
Man.
By the way, favorite pony is Fluttershy. Favorite episode, Magical Mystery Cure. Favorite princess is Luna. Till next time, pony on every pony. Your loyal fan, Mary Angela.
Oh man, my first con. My first con was Acon 14. That was no. That wasn't 14. It was an Acon pretty far back because I was maybe 16 or 17. So it was Acon not very many. And I was this young, shy nerd who didn't really know how to talk to people. And I was terrified of approaching people's tables and talking to them to ask for stuff. Since then, I've been to approximately 11 hojillion conventions in the meantime. But that first time was very, very scary. I was very shy, and I was going by myself, so that was my first con.
Don't do that, kids.
Don't do that. Don't be afraid to talk to people. They're there to make money and meet new people too. So don't be afraid of the vendors, kids.
Yep. Or don't be afraid of just trying to find panels and places to hang out with.
Yep.
You know, that's a good idea. My first one. So okay, you want me to go down the how much of a nerd route I was? You ready for this? So, I had two things scheduled the weekend of my first convention. The first one was that I wanted to go to this convention. The second was I needed to attend a boffer LARP. So,
You're a double nerd.
Yeah, I was. So I went to the Boffer LARP, stayed there for approximately 2 days, then got in my car and drove 4 hours to the convention. And so I was there like Saturday, partially into Sunday. It was fine. It was so I went from Georgia, where I was living at the time, all the way up to a convention up in Huntsville, and it was small, but it was when a con is small, it's really nice because you get to actually meet people and talk to people because there's not that many. So you kind of have to relate to people, and you get to meet a few. It's a much different dynamic than if you're in an enormous con where there's a billion people that need to talk to a billion other people. So,
yep.
But yes, that was my first time. Then I think my subsequent next time was a convention that had like 4,000 people. So I was finally like, this is a decently sized con. And then I think my third one was Dragon Con. So
you stepped it up pretty big.
I scaled up fast.
That's massive.
Oh, Dragon Con is crazy. Oh my God. I love it. I love, I used to hate it when I was in Atlanta, and now I miss it because it is absolutely insane. So yeah,
I've got to say, I feel really bad because I am still a con virgin. I have not done a convention before, which is really strange given that I
think you're about to.
I know, right? I know. I mean, I've been to expos before. I've been to technology expos and game expos and things like that, but I've never actually done a convention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have to say that for myself, and I think Sandy can agree, we can't just go to conventions and attend anymore.
Oh man, no.
We've maxed out, so just going to a convention and then just sitting around is pain.
Yeah.
You're just like, I got to do something. I got to participate. What are we doing? Come on, are we doing a show? Are we selling stuff? Come on, we got to there's some movement that has to happen here.
Yeah. Well, it was like even in our ill-fated Acon trip last couple weeks ago, I still ended up helping with the cosplay contests as a door guard because when I go to a con, I just sort of get told to do stuff, and I help.
Good point, Sandy. I find it very difficult to be at events and do nothing. Which is why most of the cons I've ever been to, I was running them, or helping to run them, or assisting, or doing photography, or sound, or setting up tables, or something, because I just can't sit there and do nothing.
Yep.
And remember, kids, if you're going to a convention, make sure you volunteer.
Yep. Volunteering is
your civic duty.
Yes, I was going to say volunteering equals citizenship. But,
it almost does, and depending on how much you do it, you can always get in free secrets.
Want to learn more?
Yeah, volunteer at conventions. Go to conventions for free.
Yep.
So. All right, well, let's go ahead and move forward. I hope that answered everything there. Let's see.
Yeah. One thing you can look forward to at Nightmare Nights is that Apple Cider here is going to be doing a Your First Con panel.
I am.
It's going to be right after opening ceremonies. So if you show up on Friday evening when we do the opening ceremonies, you stick around right after, and AC will give you a quick rundown about what the 621 rule is and why... we may or may not include a small bar of soap in your bag.
Shower yourself, feed yourself, drink.
Yes. So we'll, once the con rolls around, we'll have that. And if we, do we really need to do an episode on Con 101 because it's so many new people doing it? I don't know.
No, I leave that just to people that actually are at conventions. There's probably a good number of people here or that listen to the show that may not ever go to a convention just because of distance or, time. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and move forward. Sandy, what you got there?
All right. So, hello, Apple Cider, Chef Sandy, and esteemed guests. As a longtime brony, I've been waiting to get into the community for a while, but haven't quite known how to do so. I'm a fairly competent programmer, so I've been considering making a fan game. But I've noticed it's pretty hard to get any recognition or impact on the fandom through games, possibly unless it's a huge project with lots of people working on it. But I recently found about the upcoming Pony Game Jam and was thrilled. Not only does it create motivation for me making a game, it also makes it easy for people to notice, especially since the entries for the contest will be shown off at Everfree Northwest. That is why I'm going to use this opportunity to do something you never should write before entering a contest. I'm going to invite for more competition. I'm just reading this verbatim here, guys. That's right. As much as I'd like to win the contest, what I'd love even more to see is my many fellow Brony game designers out there being able to present themselves and make an impact on the community. Perhaps this could even succeed in creating a bigger community for Brony game designers. Now, I suppose I should give some information regarding the contest to those who now wish to participate. The contest is called the Crystal Games Challenge and is held on the weekend of June 22nd, 24th, and starts around the same time you guys start recording your 111th podcast. As is custom for Game Jam, the theme will be announced on the 22nd, and the participants will have 48 hours to create and submit a game that fits the theme. Additional rules, info, etc., as well as registration can be found on foundation.thegamingcolts.com/Crystal Games Challenge. I look forward to participating in the contest, as well as seeing what games other people will be making. Sincerely, Ascend. That's cool. I can certainly appreciate that. People doing a game jam around a pony theme. It's always interesting to see what pops out.
Yeah, I really like to see creative community. I mean, for me, that is what makes the fandom. And that's what we've always wanted to promote at Buck is stuff people can do. If you can make stuff or draw stuff or program stuff, go and do it, enjoy it, do it, show people it, get it out there. I just love to see that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and they're for how much we do say that there's not a lot of actual. We hear a lot of hubbub about games hitting that never actually go anywhere. There's plenty of Flash games that have been related to the show that have gotten out. It's just the high profile stuff that usually ends up having some difficulty. AKA I don't know, fighting is magic.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
You done goofed.
Man.
And could I weigh in here?
Go for it.
Briefly.
Of course.
I think I'm probably going to sound really cynical here,
okay,
and I apologize for that. But I think a lot of people focus too much on the idea of getting recognition rather than having fun with what they do.
Yeah.
I recommend everyone. I mentor a lot of musicians in the fandom. A lot of musicians come to me for advice, and one of the things I tell everyone is be careful with how much you want popularity, because popularity is a dangerous thing in the fandom, and it can drive you in the wrong direction. So I really think that your focus shouldn't be must get it out. The focus should be have fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't get done, doesn't get done. You made some friendships, you had a laugh, you had a great time. What's more important here?
I can't agree with you more. I absolutely cannot agree with you more on that. I think it's not only in the musical sphere. I see it a lot in a lot of other places where it's seen. How much trouble do I want to get into?
I don't know what you're talking about, AC. You might rev up.
I'm just saying that
Is your cannon loaded?
It seems like that there are somebody does something successful, and then 10 to 12 people run after that same idea. Like, I will do this because because it's really interesting and I can do it, and I think there is a popularity point to it. Let me not make this sound hyper cynical, but I sometimes think that that's how some conventions get made. Not saying Buck, but I'm saying some conventions.
I see your perspective exactly.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to comment on specific conventions or anything.
Oh, absolutely not.
But to look at it from the other side, I mean, Buck was created purely because Andrew couldn't afford to fly to America. And we thought, why not do one here?
He couldn't afford to fly to America. Make a how many $1,000 convention in the process? A lot.
I never said it was logical. But
Andrew is far from logical, Mav. We know this.
I mean, this is why I like my position. Andrew is the public face of the convention, and you'll see our PR people and our music people, and you'll hear about them. You don't hear about me. I sit in the background, and I like the background because I enjoy doing what I do. I love running the con. I like, creating the stuff and making sure that stuff runs. And at the end, there is nothing like that 5 minutes at the end when the con finishes and everyone is cheering and they've had a great time. They're not cheering me. They're not cheering the guests even. They're cheering themselves because, they've had fun, they've met new friends, they've done cool stuff, and that's really what it's about. That's
when the fandom really comes together. It's when people are cheering because the fandom belongs to everyone.
Yeah.
And that's when it's really good, when it's not about any one person in particular,
Yeah. And I've been there and done that. I have my own convention experience, and that's after the closing ceremonies and everyone's all super happy and tired from the weekend. It's just like, I survived. But yes, I know that feeling.
Yep. All right, let's see. We've got one more email to go through on here. Which of you want to go ahead and grab this email from Twisted Haywire?
Oh, go on then. I'll do it.
All right, go for it.
You've got the right accent for the email, too.
I'll read it in my smooth home counties accent. Dear Bronyvillians, I write to you here on what, if the internet comments are to be believed, is the eve of destruction, or at least the beginning of the end of the Brony fandom. Is a very unimportant question. Will we ever get to see AJ fly under her own power? She is the last of the main six not to have done. To go back to the beginning and court a great man who is not AC, British. This is not the end. It is not even the beginning of the end, but it is perhaps the end of the beginning. Twisted Haywire. So I'm not quite... Applejack flying under her own power? Am I missing something here?
She doesn't have wings. What are you talking about? That's madness.
I know. I've read that right, haven't I?
I think it's sort of denoting that on the eve of the Equestria Girls release, an unimportant question might be, will Applejack, and I think it's something Brony Curious brought up, will Applejack get character development? Because ultimately, she's actually very happy with what she does. She loves her family, she loves her farm, happy doing what she does with the apple bucking and the cider, and so there's very little sort of progress that character can make So I guess it's sort of alluding to that will there be a character progression? We've seen
I believe...
We haven't really seen her grow much.
I believe it was Theory Brony who actually brought up the case that there has not been any further exposition of Applejack's character because there's nothing left to expose. She was wrapped up neatly within the first 3 or 4 episodes of season 1.
Yeah, and
her life, her family, her work, her friends. Boom.
I honestly don't think it's a bad thing, though. Applejack is the anchor.
Story.
She's the sane pony.
Yeah, she's the one who grounds them. She's the Korean who, is always dependable, always solid. And when the others are flying off in weird directions and stressing out, they can depend on Applejack. And I don't know if it needs to be pushed any further.
Well, I think the other problem as well is that, I mean, if you were going to go into Applejack, the obvious choice would be where are Applejack's parents? But I think that's probably a story.
Yeah, it's been hinted at, but it's a bit mature.
Yeah. That's just it. I don't think that's something they can actually explore.
It's not been hinted at per se. It's been explained only by Faust on her DeviantArt.
I've missed that.
It was fully explained, and it's never. Well, now that Faust is out of the picture, and we know what the studio likes doing, just say, "Oh, more alicorns." Yeah. It may change, but it has been explained in the past.
Yeah, and the explanation is that Applejack does not have that parents are not there because they are not of the mortal coil anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her parents are dead.
I didn't want to break their hearts.
Oh,
yes, but I think we could work that out. But how?
Yeah,
The 2 stars looks out the window.
Yeah, with the 2 shooting stars.
Yep. Exactly right.
Someone did make a funny comic where after the 2 shooting stars came through the sky, Applejack turns back to Apple Bloom. It's just like, I'm just looking at Mom and Dad. And then you find out that they're both Wonderbolts, and are just like, we should really go see our kids every once in a while. Everyone's going to think we're dead.
I saw that, yeah.
But, no, I really think that there's still more you can do with Applejack. I almost think, like, having something... All right, so take this. So I'm missing the full words, but the Super Cider Squeezy episode. You introduced a villain that did ultimately threaten Applejack and her family and the lifestyle that they had. And even though it did technically require all of her friends and stuff to band up, that was an interesting episode because, it didn't progress Applejack. Matter of fact, it just showed that she didn't learn a damn thing. But I think that it something of that ilk could be fine, where you see that there's a problem, she does her best, she addresses it, and and works through it. I have always said, a fun thing that I imagine could happen is that, the town has a big problem. And there's nothing that can be that, everyone else has tried their stuff. They've tried magic. They've tried prettying it up. They've tried cover it like a party. I don't know. And it just really takes Applejack just saying, guys, just let me just call all of my family here, and we'll get it done in 5 minutes.
That's a good idea. I mean, also, of course, there's the other angle of Applejack that we saw in what was our episode in season 3?
The family reunion.
A family reunion. Of course, we saw that part where there was the angle of her sort of overcompensating slightly, or being overconfident. There's possibly some mileage in that as well, where she tends to sort of, assume a bit too much about herself sometimes. Overconfident, maybe.
I think that episode, I like it. I like the song, and I enjoy that episode. And I think she got some mileage from it. Okay, we didn't learn a vast amount new about her, but she did things, she sorted them, your singing part. There's some progression there, Well, I think that there is opportunities, but I don't think that the character needs to be dramatically changed.
I don't think so either, but it would be interesting to have something where, there's something that's going wrong in the town, and all of a sudden the A-Team theme starts to play, and then Applejack shows up, and then just pulls out the lasso, and then just solves it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's solidarity and family and common sense.
Yeah. And for all of you, all the times that I've made fun of Applejack, I want you to know, listeners of the show, I like Applejack. I really do. It's just that the fact that there has been no character progression actually frustrates me. Because I want that character to be really cool, because I do somewhat relate to her. So
There's one thing that frustrates me even more than that, though.
go for it.
And you actually just brought it up. Apple Family Reunion. Can you please stop interrupting the character progression between Apple Bloom and Babseed? For goodness sake. The constant... I want to know how these two are going to interplay. And just... Why?
Well, but they're just going to be cousins. They're just going to... They're going to just be, like,
I know,
chatty.
but the whole...
I actually
There was a lot of really interesting points brought up there that just kept getting interrupted.
there was a great little fan fiction short that came up on fan fiction the other day, where basically Bab goes round to visit Apple Bloom before she goes home, and they just have a little bit of a heart to heart and steal apple pies and eat them. And it was that's the only thing that was missing. I think you could do something like that. I don't like to mention fanfic because it's a personal thing. You know, people like different ones. But this Platinum Crown takes a really good spin on the series, and you get to see a lot of interesting character development for Applejack that some of it could be used in the show quite easily, I think.
Yeah.
Filling the gap fan fiction seems to be a very common thing.
I love fan fiction because it gives people the opportunity to create something from something that they enjoy, and why not?
Yeah.
And IDW Comics gives us even more stuff to spin off even more fan fiction.
Yeah, the main thing is you just gotta know which ones you want to actually include. I like to include every sad fic as canon. just to make life that much more.
You're one of those people.
These
Everyone-
bronies, they're too happy. We have to make them sad.
Yes. Everyone has cancer. Everyone's parents are dead. And Celestia is an evil tyrant at all the time. So,
and only because she's the shattered form of her old self, and you know the sun is going to eventually swallow up all of Equestria, and Mort's gonna show up, and you know it's
It's
The moon will crash
Global
into the earth.
heartwarming.
it's literally like Red Wedding style, and then credits.
oh man.
But that's the point. You know, in fiction, in fan fiction, that is all valid. You know, you want to write that, go write it. Why not? You know, everyone gets to have their own view and to express it and share it with everybody else, and I think that's great.
Absolutely. All right. Well, shall we go ahead and move forward there, Sandy?
I think so.
All right. We'll tell you what. I don't see the iTunes bronies, but I got the iTunes up. Do you check
They're right
for?
there, man.
Oh, you do? They are.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
There's a whole 3 this week.
Okay. Excellent. Go ahead and read those out because I need to go scramble for new cool things.
All right. 5-star iTunes ratings are up to 809 ratings. That keeps us up there. Thanks very much to Desert Nocturne, 5 Iron Brony, and Dalen for their reviews this week. Everyone counts. We were doing very well in the What's Hot here last couple days. People checking us out and downloading the show, which is always a good thing. And we received a couple donations this week. So we have 2 donations, one from Desert Nocturne, thank you very much, and in Bouvine. So thank you guys for donating. We really do appreciate it. And we'll keep on keeping on. Looks like the money is probably going to be going towards getting AC2 Nightmare Nights this November.
Hey, that's a place I want to go.
Yep.
Absolutely. And also, don't forget BronyCan. That's going to be one I'm going to be probably hitting up.
Yep.
Yeah. If you can't make Buck, BronyCon is on the same weekend, and it's our sister convention.
Very cool.
Hooray. All right, well, let's go ahead and do one cool thing times. It's now time for us to give you awesome links for stuff that we think is cool, pony or non-pony. I do want to invite our guests to find cool things.
I've got one.
All right, I'll add these in, and Living Tombstone will have to find something of his, since I don't think he's in the doc yet.
Yeah, he also had to leave.
Oh, okay, he did. All right.
Yep.
Okay, well then
He
we don't
typed
have...
in the Skype chat, but he didn't say anything.
Okay, no problem. I thought he was
He's a
rather
busy
quiet.
man.
He is. That is true. Okay. Well, tell you what. I am going to pimp one of our friends at this point because these have been good friends of ours. Good guys. They are. I love every single week when I post the episode and what's his name? I don't know. 5-Iron.
Five Iron.
I'm kidding. I wanted to just make his Jimmy's rustle for a moment.
Some dude, you know.
Well, every week when he draws some sort of snarky or not so snarky comic. So I want to go ahead and pimp their show. That's Brony Time Podcast. You can find that over at bronytime.com. Another pony podcast if you are completely not tapped out from listening to us every single week. They are at episode 35. It is Alpha and 5-Iron, and sometimes they're crazy guests. Pony One Kenobi is on the front page for some reason. And yeah, they are friends of ours. They are on Celestia Radio, and they are generally cool guys. So I'd say if you are not completely done with podcasts and you want to listen to two other guy jerks talk about ponies, go check that out. That's the Brony Time Podcast with Alpha and 5-Iron.
Huzzah.
Sandy?
My cool thing is actually something from a little bit while back. It's not actually pony related, but it's called Space Stallion.
Uh-huh.
It is something from the Animation Workshop. It was a Bachelor film project in 2012 and is really
80s. It is really
weird.
It is really... I'm going to play a little bit. It's for your people. You're missing the visual, but this is mega 80s. You hear how 80s that is? Ah!
Previously on Space Stallions.
Oh, yeah.
Forever.
Enjoy that.
It's pretty ridiculous. And their ship's shaped like a horseshoe.
It is.
Yeah.
And they're in a moon shaped like a horse jumping.
Yes. This is what Hasbro would have made in the 80s if the Bronies had existed then.
Space Stallions! Yes, this would have been our Equestria girls.
Yeah.
Maybe we can make it for season 5.
In before sea ponies.
Oh, I'd be fine with sea ponies. That'd be great.
I'd be up for cyber ponies. I want some sort of internet-connected, Wi-Fi enabled pony.
In space.
Yes.
Space.
Sending space ponies out. All right. Let's see. Let me go ahead and jump back to the dock. Neth, what do you got?
Well, I don't really have much because I'm kind of on the spot. But I mean, I saw this picture the other day. I got linked to it. It's merely a picture of a plushie, but it's severely compromised the status of my heart. I'm just going to go ahead and paste this into the chat.
Oh no! You're going to poison the chat. You're going to poison them with cute.
I've got to open it up on another laptop where I've got the chat running.
Sorry, look at this cute.
It's a lot of cute, to be honest. It's pretty dangerous. So everyone brace yourselves.
Oh,
it is
Here it comes,
mega
you guys.
cute.
There it is. It's in the chat.
And I put it also on the video.
It
It is a mega cute dirt pone. Ken's I have muffin.
yes. and now Star is going to be in squee mode for a while.
You know, it's funny. The person who I first saw, I was on a TeamSpeak server where I got linked to this picture. I was on the UK of Equestria TeamSpeak server, and one of the regulars there reacted with exactly the same sound to a T. It was that exact same squeal that I'm hearing in the background.
And you will continue here for the next 30 minutes. Thank you.
It's so freaking cute.
You should go check it out, listeners. It's obviously very cute. You can check these all out on the show notes at BronyShow.com.
I want to see it.
Okay. Mavro, what's this leap motion thing?
Right, I gotta tell you about this. I was looking for a mouse the other day because I use Windows 8 at work and at home.
I'm sorry, I do too.
Yeah, and I love the little touch. I've got a touch screen, and I love that sort of thing. So I was looking for a touch screen mouse, and then I saw this, and have you ever watched Minority Report and wanted to do that? Now you can.
Oh, I've seen this before. Yeah, I saw this device a while back.
It's like
This is
the
super cool.
tech, but 300 times more accurate. It scans the space above your desk. And you can wave your hands in it and control your mouse and fly your airplanes and shoot your guns and paint with your fingers. But the best cool thing that I really like is that if you're a digital artist, it recognizes whether you're holding a pencil or a big brush or a fine brush, and you can program it so that when you hold up the brush or the pencil in the airspace above your desk, you can like paint or draw lines or use a pen to do ink around the edges of your designs, and it'll track it all down to like microscopically tiny. You can write hello in an inch square. It is looking really, really, really cool. I don't care if I never find a useful thing for it. Just the sheer fun of standing there waving my hands above my desk, opening and closing my programs like Minority Report makes it all worthwhile. And for the same price as a mouse.
Though I do have to wonder if it actually can track if you're smiling or not.
Oh.
Xbox One style.
You are not smiling while doing this. Here, and it just prints out a coupon for Mountain Dew.
If you go to leapmotion.com and have a look at that video, you can see how accurately it scans what it's looking at, and it can get individual finger movements and do like finger control.
Neat.
I believe one of my friends who's a music producer has actually bought one of these, like pre-ordered it ages and ages ago.
Yeah, I have it on pre-order myself, and they're hopefully going to turn up on the 22nd of July.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love this sort of thing. It's like the future. It's like the Jetsons. It's like
And you know what it's not? An Xbox One.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yep. So yeah, and you don't need a special screen. Nothing like that. You just plug it in, USB, job done. Works with the computer.
All right, excellent. All
Awesome.
right, let's see. Last Lavender, I'll have anything listed here. Or you got anything cool?
Does it just need to be generally cool? Does it need to be Brony related?
Not necessarily.
Okay. I got this for you. Saw it yesterday. Thought it was pretty cool.
All right, let's see. I see a YouTube video here. I'm going to click it. I'm going to copy this link. This is I guess, Riot, Damn Son being the song, and there's an advertisement before it. Hold on.
Ad block, my friend. Ad block.
Bro, do you even internet?
Neat.
Let's see. Let me
So it's a guy.
I've seen one of these gadgets before. What's this thing he's using called again, Lav?
It's a launch pad.
Launchpad, that's it.
The Ableton.
Yeah,
No, it's an Novation launch pad.
Okay, so here you go. This is a Launchpad original song. Let's see. Playing a little
Is this
bit
the
of...
one you picked the other day, Lavender?
There we go. Put that a little bit in the background while I've seen some really crazy stuff with these launch pads recently. Like the one that was the most I think really got a lot of people's attention was like the Madian mix of
pop culture. The other one that's got a lot of people buzzing is M4 Sonic. He's been doing some really cool stuff with that. He started doing it with 2 now, so I'm excited to see what he comes out with.
That is.
I ordered mine on Thursday. It was meant to come today, but couriers suck. Okay, just saying.
So this just looks fascinating to me because it's whenever I see one of the problems with music like dubstep and things like that is you listen to it and you think, how on earth could you actually do this live? And I'm fascinated with any methods that allow people to do this stuff like in real time.
Yeah, this to me is the new DJing. The Launchpad, the MIDI fighter. The MIDI fighter is so cool. It's a 16-button array of arcade buttons.
Oh,
but
that's
it's a
pretty cool.
controller for music.
Wait, what is that
It's
again? I
great.
gotta look at that. That sounds awesome.
The newest one is the MIDI Fighter 3D, and it's got little glowing LED rings around all the buttons that you can customize the color of. It's amazing. I really want one.
Let me take a look at this. This sounds...
Yeah, MIDIfighter.com.
Oh, that does look cool. Wow, that looks like just... If you could take that to, like, a fighting game tournament and people would just think you were crazy. They wouldn't know what it is. It's just like, where's the sticks? I don't need sticks. I just need buttons.
Well, that's why they developed the hitbox, but that's a whole thing entirely.
I'm actually going to go for a triple kill here with cool things.
Oh, okay, go for it.
This is something else I own, and I think only 700 of the original were made, and I own one of them.
Oh, hold on. Let's see. Gonna triple kill us here. Let's see. Your Yamaha, the Tenori On. If I'm reading that right.
Yeah, that is so Japanese, isn't it?
Visible music interface. It is pretty cool. I'll put that.
On it.
I'm almost not even sure what I'm looking at here. Can you like press each button sort of thing?
Yeah. All 64 of those lights are like buttons. It's like a light bright for music, pretty much.
Damn, that's pretty cool.
And you can sync that in with your MIDI setup as well. And there's lights on the back, so you can hang that up on stage towards the audience. They can see the lights that you're pressing, and it's all reacting.
And if you mash your face on it, it plays Justin Bieber.
Exactly.
I would like it if you pressed your face on your one keyboard, it would show the outline of your face on it. So it'd be like one of those little pinprick things that you could just put your hand on, and anytime you went to like a Spencer's or some sort of novelty store, everyone's always shooting the bird. Always giving everybody the middle finger on the, oh, thanks. Store clerk has to come and stop everybody from just flipping everyone off. All right. Okay, well, that is a boatload of cool things for you all, so go check those out. The links are there in the show notes. Let me make sure I put that second link there for anyone that wanted to see the display that Lavender brought up. And that's going to bring us close to... Well, that's not going to bring us close. That's going to bring us to a close here today. So let me go ahead and do these wrap-ups. First off, I want to go ahead and thank our awesome guests here. Thank you all for attending. And looking forward to hearing that Buck goes awesome for you guys. Oh, and the Summer Sun celebration.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
Yep.
Great to have you three. As always, Chef Sandy Thundermaker.
Count on me.
Coming in here to be part of this brash, unprofessional, second tier, top 15 on iTunes pony podcast.
Yep. Wonder how all those comport together. I don't know. Anyways.
It all compounds. And as always, I want to go ahead and thank all of our fans, you very, very awesome kids. And maybe a little bit of you older folks that decide to go ahead and listen to our show every day. Be it if you're the awesome folks on Justin TV that I'm pointing to in the camera right now, or if you're those cool folks that like to get stuff on iTunes or whatever podcast aggregator, or maybe even on YouTube. Thank you all for listening. We love doing the show for you every single week, so thank you all for spending an hour and a half to 2 hours with us today. Let's do the rundown. You can find us over at bronyshow.com or bronyvillepodcast.com. The email address is bronyville@gmail.com. You can join us roughly every Saturday noon Pacific at justin.tv/bronyvillepodcast. iTunes reviews, we love them. Please go to your closest version of iTunes, leave us a review. If you leave a written one, we can say your name on the air, and we say very nice things about you. It's a benefit. You can listen to the show on Celestia Radio every Tuesday at 3 Pacific, 6 Eastern, and 11 p.m. UTC. My Twitter account is at Bronyville.
Mine's at Chef Sandy.
And we are part of meetup groups. Mine is the Bronies of Northern California.
Mine's Bronies North Texas.
And conventions. There's Nightmare Nights Dallas. There's BronyCan. There's the SAC Anime Expo. There's the SAC Brony Expo. What do you got, Sandy?
I'm going to be down at Fiesta Equestria here in about 2 weeks.
Okay.
And BronyCan if we can do it, but we'll have to talk AC.
Things are shaky. All right. We'll figure that out.
We'll figure it out.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that's going to take care of episode 110 of the Bronyville podcast. Still the number one Bronyville podcast in relation to numbers. We will go ahead and catch you guys next week with more Pony. By the way, next week we're doing a 3-hour show. Just to remind you, we are attending and taking part in the Callisti? Is that
Callisti 3?
Callisti 3 to help out and to raise money for the. Let's see, is this the?
Your siblings.
Your siblings.
Bronies for Good.
Bronies for Good. Awesome. I have to make sure I had the right one of those two going. So expect us 3 hours next week talking, being awesome, maybe even some special guests, depending on how those flow in. That would be very cool, depending on who we get. But till then, we will go ahead and leave you, and next week it will be in the same room, same time, 12 Pacific, so look forward to being there with you. That brings us to a close. That is episode 110. We will catch you next week. Sleep well, every pony.
Adios.
Yeah.
Hit the button.
The button's all the way over here.
Yay!
Here's the actual video of me hitting the button.
Mash the button.
Can't mash the button.
That's rather fun. You should do it with your pinky finger.
Yep.
Whilst drinking tea.
Did you knock the lamp over, or is there a light?
There's a light. I have an actual audio. I have. Ah, shoot! I'm just carrying it. See, I actually do have a all pro light set up there.
Oh, that's right. You got your studio light. See, it's a good thing that I'm not on camera, because I don't have any light but my monitor.
I'm illuminated by the glow of many laptops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, that was the end of the episode. That doesn't mean we're gonna stop talking.
Yeah. We're still technically this is the after show.
Yay!
I have got a super bright LED lamp next to me, but I'm also surrounded by tons of audio gear, so yeah, I'm pretty much swathed in shadow right now.
Okay, so I talked about it during the show, but who wants to know something horrific I learned at Las Pegasus Unicon?
Oh no, it's...
Oh god, here we go.
I'm not
Which
sure.
horrific thing is this?
Okay, no, this is something I feel safe in to detailing right now. But Sandy, do you remember when we were at the table after everything had melted down and a person that I will not identify told us the story of what the original plan after the Derpocalypse was?
No, because I wasn't at LPU.
Oh, you weren't? Oh, okay. You'll love this story then.
Oh, man. Oh, boy, here we go.
So, you ready for some oatmeal? Because this is crazy. Like, this is straight up crazy talk.
I have a funny feeling I might know who the person might have been, but anyway, go on.
Okay, so...
You don't need to name names.
I'm not naming any names.
I know. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. I'm just
saying.
This is what the story that I have heard. So we all know the Derpocalypse. We all know that the last roundup happened. The fandom went wee. Then there were some people that went, I don't like Derpy, and then that subsequently caused them to have to modify the last roundup. And then, subsequently, we saw less and less of Derpy.
Yep.
Supposedly, rumors has it that wasn't as far as Hasbro was going to originally go. When the Derpocalypse happened, there was actually a request made to have an episode where they ran Derpy out of town.
Really?
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
What is this, Texas?
I know.
Hey now.
I don't buy that.
If you tried that in Britain, you'd probably get prosecuted under the
hate crime laws.
I'm simply stating this was what there's obviously the statement that this is something that someone could have suggested, maybe not even actually really pursued, and I'm pretty sure everybody would have went, "What? This is a kids show? Are you crazy?"
That must have been an office joke.
But the word was that somebody actually had the idea of, listen, we need to make sure that this doesn't happen again because there is this offensive character. Could we have her just do something bad and then the rest of the town makes her leave.
I mean, even Trixie got her second chance.
Yeah.
And actually, in the comic, Trixie is like standing next to Luna and is like, everybody deserves a second chance, and some of us even get second or even get third ones. Where it's like,
has anyone done like pony OCs of the Hasbro managing directors? Because I'm just picturing some evil Hasbro directors sitting around. Yeah, I guess they're all sitting around the table and like, yes, we've got to run her out of town. You know.
yeah,
I dislike the weird-eyed one.
yeah, it's Trixie standing next to Celestia and says, every pony deserves a second chance, even a third chance. That's right, Trixie. You earned your second eye shine. You're no longer an evil character. Mm-hmm. Also, surprises in there, I just noticed.
Yeah.
And Dr. Who's with his tie bandana thing.
So yeah, that was one of the rumors that I recalled hearing at Los Pegasus, and I decided, and that was one of those just sitting there at the table going, "What? You're nuts!
Very silly fillies.
You're out of your mind!"
And of course, now the derp is back and safe and everywhere.
Guess who's back? Back again. Derp is back. Tell a friend.
You were waiting to do that all day, haven't you, AC?
Anytime I can do that, it's a wonderful day.
Da, da, da. I really like. I know it's an accident that the character came about, but I like the idea because the thing is, disabled kids, they really don't get much of a chance, and this is why I went to the Paralympics, and it was probably one of the most best experiences of my entire life. It was amazing. Sitting there in the stadium, watching these people who could wheel around a track faster than I could even think about running. It changed, I think, in this country and many others from the coverage, what people thought disabled people could do. I mean, I love disabled rugby. Have you ever seen disabled rugby?
Sounds probably pretty vicious.
It is. It is vicious. And to see people in wheelchairs smacking each other and knocking each other out and flying across the room is just brilliant. Because, people go, oh, well, they're disabled, just, wrap them up in cotton wool. And no, it just made them, they were ordinary people doing a sport, getting down with it, and just
absolutely knocking lumps out of each other.
Yeah, but just like you would in normal rugby. And why not? Yeah. There's no sort of, political correctness or whatever. It was just, so what? I'm in a wheelchair. Now I'm going to go play rugby. Or now I'm going to go, race around this track. And the noise in there, I mean, it's a phenomenal stadium. The noise, you can whisper and hear the other side. And it was like a wall of sound that just followed the athletes around. It was brilliant. And I liked her for that reason, because she can do stuff. And she is a character that everyone loves. And it is a fact that, just because you've got a disability does not make you different from anyone else. You can live your life, you can do what you want to do, and go for it.
I think VHX really want to sort of include this stuff as well, because I mean, there was one of the episodes in season 3, I can't remember which one it was, where we saw, I can't remember if it was Screwball or Screw Loose, but one of the two was at their house, and Nurse Redheart was just on her way out and saying goodbye in the background. And it was a couple of people picked up, and it was like, so, oh look, she's getting better, sort of thing, and but they noticed that. It was nice to see that they're acknowledging these people, and they weren't sort of taking the mick. They were sort of showing that sort of even Screwball and Screw Loose are real people and real characters.
Right, but if you remember that particular scene, though, there was actually a gag that went with that, because
Winona was barking.
Right.
Redheart looked back, and Screw Loose was like, what?
No, that wasn't the one I was thinking of. That was that was in Read It and Weep. This was in another episode in one of the season 3 ones. I'm gonna have to see if I can locate it now.
Yeah, I think that's important. There's so many issues that are sort of, I don't know. Kids aren't stupid. They know what's going on.
I think one of the things that bothered me that
understand that my brother-in-law's sister is, she has a girlfriend. They're fine with that. the kids aren't stupid. They know what's going on. They understand a lot of things that adults we often don't credit them with. And to see those things, okay, they're not mentioned blatantly, but to see things mentioned like mental illness or gay people or disability mentioned even in a roundabout way in children's cartoons is brilliant. That society we live in, and it needs to be represented.
Yeah, so somebody wanted me to do my Yosemite Sam. Woo! You know what? I can't really do it on contact. It's just like the guy just like, I can't stand that derpy. Rise. So, friggin' bragging.
So Mike Vogel is talking on Twitter. Holy crap, he's been full of words today. So he's at the premiere for Equestria Girls, and he's like, he's got Tara Strong. She's there obviously. Tara Strong teaching about Vine. There's also like Winter Wrap Up Sing Along at LA Film Festival, and it looks like there's a whole bunch of bronies there too. Wow. The comment is watching little girls, little boys, grown men, grown women singing "Smile, Smile, Smile" from MLP is kind of a little bit adorably awesome.
It is a good song. It really is. We signed Winter Wrap Up at the end of last year's book to close it with.
Kathy Wiseluck trying to feed, giving a hand to her little dog. Her little purple dog. Not on camera, honey. Everybody's gonna know what you look like now.
You already know what I
So that's cool.
Let's play videos.
I know. By the way, Starry's doing Let's Play videos now.
Oh man, who's this chick on camera?
I know.
She's not the random girl in the background. She's on camera.
I know. What is this crud?
I'm not real. I'm a figment of your imagination.
Sure.
She's bloody good CGI.
Well, I mean, we saw what you could do earlier with the camera. You had the bunny ears for a while, so maybe Starry is just a very expensive special effect.
A very expensive filter, yes. She's just a webcam filter.
Yes, this is my Murloc t-shirt.
Yes.
Isn't he cute?
Save the Murlocs.
Adorable. That was like my favorite quest.
Hey, a missing pony wonders how I can have a girlfriend.
Oh, that's sad. He's cute.
Tell me when you know how.
He's cute. He's a cutest. I love him so much. He's adorable.
Gross.
You can't even hear them.
Condescending victory.
You hear them just off of this?
I heard him.
Here, I'll lay it off my ears a little bit. She's eating his eye! This is why they never have Shining Armor or Cadence Kiss on the show, because people just go, ew!
AC,
I'd like to imagine that Cadence and Shining Armor, any contact that they have is a firm handshake, and then they go to bed. Nice to meet you. Goodbye.
If she's the princess of love, then if they kiss, that would be it. There'd be like an explosion or something.
she's just a they can't go too far, because anything too lovey, she's just gonna overwhelm with power.
Yep.
Did they kiss? I guess they had.
And Canterlot falls off the mountain.
They sleep in twin beds.
There's twin beds on the opposite side of the room. I love Lucy.
I tell you, season four. I'm betting we have a royal baby.
Oh, I bet it's so cute.
I bet it's gonna be a girl.
It's probably gonna be
I'm sorry, but I find the foals really freaky.
The foals are.
Yeah, they are. They are quite creepy.
With their creepy little beady black eyes.
Oh God, what was that?
Baby Cakes had some disturbingly accurate references to Train Spotting. It really did.
Well, that's one of the main reasons that I don't like the Funko Pops, is they have the beady black eyes.
Yeah, you can see what they were trying to do, but from an adult perspective, there's many grim, dark connotations attached to them.
Hey, Sandy, we missed an important piece of news about Red Eye talking about My Little Pony. We missed Fox News asking if My Little Pony is too sexy,
or are they not sexy enough?
Oh, jeez.
What do you want?
Is My Little
it's what
Pony
you make of it.
too sexy?
I don't know. I mean, I've got I think it's MLP out of context or out of context MLP that I'm following on Twitter, and some of the screenshots they've captured from the show, from the episodes, just random screenshots, are so funny. It's untrue.
How duplicate? Mothers fear that My Little Pony horses are too sexy. That's redundant. You said pony and then horses.
It's one of those things though that they're talking about Equestria girls, because there's the whole this like Bratz and Monster High has unrealistic body types. Yes, their skin is purple, and in Monster High, some of them are undead.
Yeah.
And so yes, those are very unrealistic body types for young girls.
Kitties, always eat your vegetables. Could be a health warning. If you don't eat your vegetables, you'll be undead.
See, that's one of the reasons why I don't mind MLPs, because they're ponies. The proportions don't matter. You don't notice it nearly as much.
Actually, I had an interesting. There was a Facebook comment, I think it was, or a UKV a comment anyway on someone mentioned book about dressing up as a pony. I think it was on UKV, a thread.
Nice.
But the girl was large, and she was like, should I play Princess Big Mac or something because I'm a large lady? I was like, well, they're ponies. They're all big compared to humans. And the thing is, the only reason we see the ponies as the same size anyway is because it's easier to draw and animate them that way. I'm sure if they were actually drawn more realistically, there'd be all sorts of shapes and sizes, because ponies are different sizes, different shapes.
Yes, but we found the uniform size of a pony by regulating them to the size of apples.
Yeah.
Well, have you seen the concept sketches for My Pretty Pony? The prototype for My Little Pony. Oh my goodness me!
My Pretty Pony. That sounds awful in every possible way.
Well, that's what they pitched it to Hasbro to a few decades ago. I can't remember her name.
I've just googled that, and they've been at the hay, haven't they?
Exactly.
Well, I just said, you know what? Play what you want. I mean, it doesn't matter if some big tall person plays Octavia or if some small petite person plays Octavia.
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing that actual thread, and she's going for. I think she said she was going to go for a Princess Celestia, because of course Celestia is bigger than all the other ponies, and everyone's like, "That's actually a really good idea." And she was like, "Yeah, that's a really good idea," and I'm looking forward to seeing her actually.
Yeah, it'd be good, but I don't think you need to. If you want to play Derpy,
no, absolutely.
There's a picture on our website of someone playing Derpy. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the cosplay is something that I'm really looking forward to at Buck. Actually, I mean, I noticed we've got Yami Yami Bjork is in the chat. She's actually going to be heading up our cosplay competition at Buck, and we were having a big conversation the other night about planning it and things like that. And there's been loads of people talking about it on all the social channels, and it's going to be brilliant, the cosplay competition.
Actually, Yami, since you're in the chat, add me to Skype, would you? I want to talk about linking the music with the event a bit better. All I have is some semi-vague stuff. I want to get that sorted.
I don't know how to. Oh, shut up.
Oh, sorry.
Windows.
So, Starry, are you going to play any video games after this?
With you.
Video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, guys, Cindy Morrow just tweeted, "Hey, hey, bronies, please follow me. I'm not the most interesting writer, but sometimes I post funny pictures of animals. Good enough?" So Cindy Morrow wants more followers.
Retweeted.
She only has 3,840 followers.
Oh yes.
my.
Speaking of Twitter followers, this week was a terrible week. There was a tragedy. I now have officially more Twitter followers than Sandy.
Oh man.
I've just posted
War now.
Yeah.
channel a picture of the Bridgewater Hall Auditorium, and that's sort of the view from the top deck, looking down at the stage, and that's where we're doing our cosplay competition.
Oh, but Sandy, you only have you're only one less than me. All it takes is one of these people in the chat to combo break.
I know. It's just one of those. The numbers always just go up and down. It's not accurate. Twitter is bleh. So I mean, they're not always accurate, but you know, it's not like Twitter is our only method of reach.
Thank goodness.
There's also Tumblr.
Well,
Desert, you're mean.
my Tumblr has a whole
No.
72
No.
followers, but I don't use it much more to lurk and to like things.
This plan is going bad. All my fans are unfollowing me to make you feel better.
Love our Tumblr.
Follow me.
The Ask Britannia Tumblr is brilliant.
Little children.
It's really, really good.
Yeah, I've been following that closely. The Ask Britannia Tumblr. We've got some really wicked artists working on that. Hazel Hooves has been heading that up. He's been doing most of the story writing, and we've just finished a really nice little arc. And that had a really good ending. I really like the way that turned out.
I follow two Tumblrs, that's it. I follow Ask Britannia, and I follow Ask King Sombra, and they're the only two. I like involved stories, and yeah. If you get a chance, askbritannia.tumblr.com.
Oh, it is. Yeah, that's a very good one. I'm surprised at how much you guys actually put a story behind your silly convention, or put a silly story behind your convention. Let me say it that way.
Yeah, a story behind your silly convention.
You and your event. Wow. It's crashed.
So
You see, how about a nice big cup of shut the fuck up?
Oh,
yeah,
my feeling hurts.
your feeling singular.
My feeling hurt.
He only has one, and it's hurt.
So
Unbreak my feels.
So AC, how's that Eve coming?
It goes right now. It's just sitting in training skills.
Making that isk.
Not really. You're better at it than me.
I'm just more consistent.
Pretty much. I don't get to play that much, so right now I have one character training up cloaking and another one training up various skills to be able to put all sorts of craziness on their mammoth, so I can have adaptive shields and such.
I feel really bad about my Eve account. I literally just finished training it up to be able to do cloaky stuff in a Tech 3 battle cruiser, I think it was, and all really cool stuff. And just as I finished all the training, I just lost interest, and I haven't touched it since. And I'm like, I just got to the point that everyone's trying to get to, and I suddenly couldn't be bothered anymore.
I did recall.
I feel terrible.
I did recall something crazy. I was looking at there was a kill report that came up on one of the chats, and there was a group that had taken out a ship that had 200 plex in it. Just randomly, just like, we're gonna take out this ship. Took out the cloak ship, and it's like, part of the lost cargo was 200 plex. Like, holy.
Oh, damn. Whenever I hear stories like that, I'm like, why would you carry that much in one go?
Well,
why would you run the risk?
I had that happen with my Iteron 2. I had one of those for a little while, and I don't have one anymore. I dove down to a low-sec system in an Iteron 2 with like a short-range laser on it, and that's about it. Full of about 5 million ISK worth of ore. And I dove down, made it to the station, but like the absolute moment I popped back out, 3 guys were waiting for me and just blew me up. I made it out of there with my capsule intact because they got fired upon by the station sentry guns, and they got distracted, I guess. So I was able to escape it, but yeah, crazy stuff happens all the time.
I think that's where they're having it.
Damn. Fancy.
Yeah, fancy venue they're choosing for that.
Oh, I want to go.
All right, sweetie. See if you can scrounge up like $2,000 and we can probably make it.
Eventually, we are going to have to visit the UK, eventually.
The Ook.
The Ook.
And Ireland.
Yes, now to make a Kickstarter to send Starry to Buck.
Yeah, but if I go to Buck, then I have to also go to,
We have an international airport right near the venue.
Let's see how much and how long does it take to fly from San Francisco to Manchester?
it's probably like a 15,
about
16 hour.
15 hours.
Yeah, that seems about right. Why'd I open
And I don't know the price exactly because the last flight I booked obviously was business class for a certain VIP. So
Much longer than
Nice.
I just standard what the standard prices are. But if you look on, let me just find there's a really good website.
Well, I'm gonna check one on my side. So let's see.
Here we go.
Manchester, United Kingdom. No, not Manchester, New Hampshire. And let's see, what's the date again?
And are there any towns that the Americans didn't steal from us?
No.
Australian. I lived in Australia for a couple of years, and I lived near to Newcastle and Liverpool, and even Beverly Hills.
Oh, that's where I want to be.
Yeah. It is the 23rd, so you'll want to fly out on the 22nd to get there on the 23rd. So 22nd of August is the flight, and then coming back on the 26th.
So yeah, it's only $1,500.
Is that all?
Oh no! Here it goes. It's starting to go down. You could use Brussels Airlines.
Never heard
There's American, so it's dropped down to 1,200.
It's about like Ness said, though, is that, make a holiday of it. I mean, there's so much cool stuff to see in England. Why not make a thing of it? I mean, all those museums, all those castles.
Plus, certainly compared to America, England is a small place. It's not that far to go from Manchester down to London and then see all the London sites as well.
I go to London practically every other month, and it takes me 3 to 4 hours, if that.
And you have rail systems that can take you everywhere.
Yeah. If
Oh,
I
seriously,
went, I
a
would
train
have to
to
visit,
London is
I would have
quick.
to visit.
An hour and a half, if that.
What?
Depending on what train
You
I'm
did
on.
to me earlier.
It's cheap as well. I mean, you can get a bus from London to Manchester for less than £10, as long as I don't mind travelling early.
That's pretty nice.
Is there anything in Devon?
Well, Cindy Morrow is coming over slightly early for the same reason. She's coming over early so to see some of the sites before Buck. Don't blame her. I mean, why not? There's some awesome stuff in Manchester.
Well, I was kind of thinking that too. Like Delancey's going like, I got a trip to the UK. Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that was part of the reason he went to Las Pegasus Unicon. He was like, it's a trip to Vegas. Little did he know. Oh no, it's a trap.
Yeah.
That's a trap.
it certainly made things difficult for us. That's for sure.
No, it made problems for
It's
everyone.
made it difficult for everybody.
Yeah.
You know,
We are.
there's a lot of cons happening, or a lot of cons here in the U.S. that have had some trouble via failures of messaging or failures of getting the word out. The Texas conventions are all doing good because there's 17.5 million people in the 4 major cities in the state.
And they love cons.
And we love cons. I mean, my local space, my metroplex is 6.5 million people, and it's within its geographical area. So
yeah,
it's just a matter of.
That's nearly as big as London. I mean, London's what, 9 million?
Yeah, and it's a lot further spread out, but still.
Sorry.
But Fiesta Equestria is doing really well.
I think you're used to traveling more as well. I travel a lot. I did 450 miles last week, and I think nothing of it. I was up in Preston, down London, back and forth all over the place. But a lot of British people just don't travel much. London, Manchester is like the end of the world. It's cheap bus journey or a quick train journey.
Yeah.
In fact, it's probably cheaper to take your car and fill it full of people and split it off 5 ways.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I mean, it's I've got I will be driving a car full of people all the way up. I'm just picking people up along the way.
Yeah. I mean, you can get literally. I mean, you think about it. It would cost what, 50 quid for a full tank of petrol. Split up 5 of you, it's £12 each. You can get a hostel, or the universities during the summer, they hire out the student accommodation for £25 a night, so you can stay there for 100 quid.
That's pretty good. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Western Hall, you can hire out the student accommodation for the same price as a hostel, but you're not sharing a room. And it's joined onto a hotel, so you can even pay extra for breakfast at the hotel in the morning.
Yeah. Well, it's like to go visit my parents is 84 kilometers.
Yeah.
Driven. So, and I've had some weeks where I've made that trip twice.
Yeah.
Because I have their computer, and actually I have to return their computer to them yet again, which will be another 100 and whatnot mile, or 100 and something kilometers on my car.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. We do speak miles in the UK.
Okay, I'm just like I'm converting it to the British.
British use miles.
Do we still have to convert to stones? I don't know.
Yeah.
We to be honest, by and large, most British people know both metric and imperial quite fluently, and we just use them interchangeably, which isn't confusing in the slightest.
Except me, who's very confused and can't do either properly.
I feel bad for you, son.
Yeah, I'm like, it's 5 meters down the road and then half a mile, and then I'll have a kilogram of sugar, and then I eat the sugar and I weigh 13 stone.
And then and Bob's your mum.
Hey, Sandy, you want to talk? Do you want to talk about a little bit of fandom news that I find, or convention news that I find disturbing?
Oh yeah.
How about the fact that both Cutie Mark Con and Sweet Apple Acres Con both need to raise $20,000?
Well, okay. So we didn't talk about this on the show because it's a sensitive subject, especially when our guests are a convention and I myself
run a convention.
So Cutie Mark Con is trying to do a Indiegogo, something like that. It's called Keeping the Dream Alive.
Okay.
They're trying to raise $20,000. And basically,
Dude,
they have 29 days left and have raised $312.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do wonder if people realise how much it costs to run a convention.
Well,
I don't think they do.
Here,
I know it's cheaper over there because you have the hotel deals where if you book 80% of the hotel, you practically get the venue at a down price. But it still costs a lot.
I mean, the thing is, and first off for Cutie Mark Con, there's been a lot of talk about, so there was somebody, they had money, then maybe somebody embezzled money, so the money vanished, and they mention even inside of this Kickstarter that they had a setback with a lawsuit we put because of a former business entity stemming from unfair treatment of our attendees / discrimination, but did they have a convention before? I don't.
Yeah, they actually, the MGA people were running Animation and Gaming Ohio, and they also do a traveling game room called NGA Gamers.
Yep.
So...
Yeah. It's funny that Mav mentioned about booking out like 80% of the hotel and getting the venue practically for free from that, but that's actually what's worked against Sweet Apple Acres convention, because that's actually why they need the money, because they booked out a load of hotel rooms and they haven't been able to resell them. That's what they need the money for. So it's ironic that although that makes the con cheaper to run, it's actually worked against them in this case.
The unfortunate reality being that, they didn't make it.
No, I was when you mentioned it, I was like, wasn't that last week? And they had 2 days to go.
They had till the 12th, and
I think one of the things that people don't realise about Buck is that we don't fundraise. We sell tickets, and people buy tickets, and that pays for the con. Mm-hmm. And we have several tiers of tickets, so we work like a fundraiser. So if you want to buy a ticket, it's £55. If you want to buy a ticket and help contribute, we have 2 levels above that. We have 20% cooler, and we have Celestia tier. And you will pay a lot more money, but you'll get cool stuff.
Yeah.
Like on a fundraiser. Celestia, I mean, it's amazing, the ticket is. Yes, it's pricey, but you get a VIP meal at Australasia with John Delancey and the other VIPs. You get to go to the convention for 2 days. You get a guest buffet that you can go along to on a Sunday at another restaurant. You get to go to the Summer Sun celebration for the 5 hours of amazing Brony music and non-Brony music and the laser show and the glow dancers and all the rest of it. And we have a 4-hour after party in a sci-fi themed cafe with a TARDIS and the Starship Enterprise as the DJ booth at the end of the convention. And you get all that and a T-shirt. So it's really quite.
It's surprising. A lot of people they take one look at the price and they go, "Oh, that seems expensive," but as soon as you read into it, it's really not. It's surprising.
I mean, our convention costs nearly 6 figures.
Mariangela, the actual room block numbers total, that's across 4 days, is well under, I think, 300
for Nightmare Nights Dallas.
Yeah.
To quantify.
So basically, because my organization has worked with our venue for the past 5 years, they're very happy with us, and so we got a good deal. So we don't have a huge room block. But that also, Bob and I, Bob has more experience negotiating, but he worked, he kind of worked the hotel over pretty good. So we have a very, 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 very good deal.
Yeah.
And so, it's a matter of having people with experience instead of people that just go, that sounds cool.
Well, I'll give you an example. The Summer Sun celebration, when you book somewhere like an exhibition centre, they don't include things like electricity.
Yeah.
You have to pay for that separately.
They'd charge you for the air in the room if they could.
Yeah, I mean, they wanted, was it £3,500?
It was something astronomical like that for electricity. Yeah.
I mean,
wow.
That's basically $5,000 for electricity they wanted.
Yeah.
For a night.
For 5 hours.
For
5 hours. That's literally $1,000 an hour on electricity.
It's really good electricity.
It is.
Premium electricity.
I mean, we just had to argue them down because I can't afford $5,000 on electricity. And you just have to argue and argue and argue your way with these people to get good deals. I mean, it's still costing us ridiculous amounts of money, but we feel it's worth it.
I wonder if this is how some of the smaller cons get into trouble, is that a lot of the time the venues and the suppliers will try and take you for every penny, and if you can't talk them down, then this may well be how some of these smaller cons get bang in trouble.
I do
venue get you every which way afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I do think there is a lot of people that come into doing stuff, especially something like this, which is more business oriented, and either believe that it is, hey, everyone's here to be my friends. Well, not really. People that are owning hotels and stuff are doing it to be a business, and just the expectation that of taking the first offer. Oh, there's not a lot of idea of I need to barter and hard sell. So
yeah. I mean, we run our budget in a sort of simple way, which is that we work out our costs and we work out what are desirable extras, and the more people that come along and buy tickets, the more cool stuff we can have. If more people come, we can buy more. We can hire more props that make it cooler. Last year we had like the little head seats and the giant flowers and the huge rainbow arches made of balloons, and the more people come, the more money we have to make the con more fun. But my phrase is getting the best bang for your buck, and we really do work hard. I mean, literally, it's sleepless nights for us all for weeks. I think we're approaching sleep deprivation. I'm pretty sure the venue manager said he was actually hearing noises and hallucinating last week.
The irony is now he's out in a field listening to metal for the whole weekend. He's at Download Festival now, so he's not going to sleep there either.
No, he's not. But we work hard because we want it to be fun. We do the con because we do a con that we would enjoy, and we know that other people enjoy it too.
Yeah, I was having this conversation with some of my friends recently. I was down at the cyber cafe I hang out at, and I was having to do some late night work for some PR stuff, and they're like, oh, Graham, come play some games. I was like, no, I've got to get this done. And they're like, dude, why are you even doing this? Is it really worth it? And I said, yeah, it is, because I'm actually getting to be a part of something bigger. And it's, sure, I could turn around and say, I can't be asked with this anymore. But it's the first time I've done this, and I'm feeling it already. I'm feeling that I can see that sense of satisfaction when the big day comes, the big weekend arrives, and just everything is super awesome. And we all get to say, yeah, we all had a little part in building this.
One of the best. Well, go ahead.
How many people can say that that they hired 2 international venues and then flew over famous guests from America and had a 5-hour party and then an after party and a 2-hour, 2-day convention and workshops and all the stuff that we're doing? It's not the sort of thing you ever get the opportunity to do. And so when it came along, I just had to grab it with both hands and do it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first time I ever ran a convention, I was a board member. It was the first time that I had actually, I think I might have been staff before at some conventions, but it was the first time I actually was a major player. And I just remembered the convention went off pretty much without a hitch as possible. And after it was all done, I was standing in the dealer's room and everyone was gone. It was me and another of the staff members just there. All the tables had, been cleaned off, and all the nice white linens had kind of been bundled up and were tossed about. Yep. And we just sat in that room and we went, "Wow, that was amazing." Just that feeling of we just had like 400 people here and they had an excellent time. Like it's an amazing feeling.
That's why we do it. I mean, my parents think I'm nuts, and they're saying, "Please don't do one next year." I mean, I've been in hospital in and out this year, I've had MRI scans and CT scans and all sorts, trying to find out what's up for what is probably stress-related illness. But I don't care. I really don't care. I will do this if it kills me.
Death by ponies.
Oh man.
I will run this convention,
I will advocate you don't actually kill yourself over ponies. That would be a kind of a bummer.
Try not to, but yeah, I am in this 100%, and I intend to do it.
We definitely do not need death by Fluttershy.
No, probably not. But yeah, everyone is very committed, and we have a great team, and we want this to be fun. That's what it's about in the end. Can we get together as British bronies, as international bronies from all these countries that want to come along? We'd love to see Europeans fly in. We'd love to see Americans fly in, or Australians even, come on over for a holiday and come to Buck while you're here. It's a great opportunity, and it's not all pony. Yeah, we love the ponies, but Buck has always been and always will be a celebration of community and creativity, and it's sort of shouting out, look what we can do, look what we can create, the artwork, the music, the crafts, the videos, the animation, the stand-up comedy. We've got a stand-up comedian this year. He's hilarious, and that sort of thing. Just saying, these people can do this stuff. Come and see.
I feel like it really is the face of what it's all about. Last weekend I had an old college friend come and visit me, and I'm still sort of in it. Quite a couple of my friends' circles are still completely oblivious to my bruniness, and he'd seen me commenting on various Facebook pages and things like that, and he said, "Graham, what's with the pony thing?" And so I explained it to him, and as I predicted, he didn't get it. And likewise, I was doing another interview earlier on today with a small documentary, and we were talking about what it's all about and things like that. And they got it because they're doing a documentary about it. But I kind of feel like that, if everyone saw all the stuff that was going on at Buck and all the creativity, you look at that, it's like, now that's what it's about. Look at that, and you will understand.
Yeah. It is community. I was in an interview yesterday. I think it was or the day before. I'm losing track of time. For somebody's thesis they were writing on the MLP fandom, and Tenko, the guy from Galacon, and myself were being interviewed, and we must have spoken for an hour, just telling them about stuff that the community does. And they're like, really? We talk about charity work and about the creativity and about all the good stuff that Bronies for Good does, and all the other, the Brony charities and the Humble Indie Bundle and all the supportive activities that they do, and they just couldn't believe it. They were like, really? That's amazing. And that's the point. I mean, how many, you said in today's podcast, about how, MLP is breaking records for being above, stuff like Batman, Batwoman and that sort of thing, Spider-Man. I mean, that doesn't happen, but it is happening, and there's a great community there that is doing some amazing stuff, and we're part of it. I mean, that's the best bit. We're part of it, and we're putting a convention together to celebrate it and say, what we're doing.
See, this is why the post show is always some of the best part of the show.
I mean, we're supporting. We pick a charity. We ask for submissions from our attendees, and we pick a charity they vote for, which one I want to pick. We're supporting CRY this year, which is cardiac risk in the young. 12 people die every week between the ages of 18 and 35. Just drop dead from a heart attack, and nobody knows why. Because the different complications, and they've never taken an ECG because they're young. And I have a friend who was playing football at 17, just dropped, hit the deck. He's paralysed now on one side of his body, and finds it very difficult to do stuff. But he just didn't know, he never got checked out because he was young and active and fit. And that sort of tragedy happens on a daily basis. And it's only a small charity, and you think, we can make a difference here. Okay, it's just a few pony toys and some merchandise that's been signed, and we'll bid what cash we can raise, but that will make a difference in someone's life, and that's the thing. It isn't just about giving them money. It's about the fact that it's supporting a small charity where that makes a difference in someone's life. But then you feel good about it, and you go out, and suddenly, you find that you're actually being a bit more friendly to people, or you're doing other stuff, or helping people out. And MLP does that to people. It makes them realise that there's good out there, and they can be good too. And charity isn't just about donating the money, it helps, but it's about getting involved and doing stuff. And you can do that, and we do it on a massive scale. And that's what makes this fandom different. People get involved in other people's lives and make their lives better, and in the overall thing, they make their own life better.
Yeah, and for the record, if the charity fundraiser we're doing for cardiac risk in the young, that's going to be going on at Buck. So if anyone's got anything they want to donate to it, then by all means get in contact with us. Send it. If you've got anything you want to send in to be put on auction, even if you're not coming to Buck, you can still send it in. Send us an email at publicity@buckcom.org, and we can get it on the chat. We can get it on the auction, and we can raise some money, and we can do something about this kind of thing.
Yep.
So I'm now very curious to see what time it is here. Oh, it's not too bad. It's only 8 p.m. where you guys are right now.
Try 11 p.m.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Hold on. I see why. I don't have Yeah, that's why.
You're just wrong, AC. Sorry.
I've got a nice app. Found a nice website that allows me to compare dates or. Yep, 11 p.m. Uh-oh, what is it, Sandy?
Oh man.
You're hyperventilating.
I'll just send it to you because it's.
Is it not fit for?
No, well, it's kind of.
I see a 4chan URL.
Yeah, it's V. It's bad Vigi cosplay. Well, Vigi cosplay in general, but
it's so here you go. It's so you guys, you want a preview of Halo 5? There's Halo 5.
This is what's going to happen if you buy an X-Bone.
This is X-Bone.
Next gen graphics, ladies and gentlemen.
it's so real.
It looks so real.
The Master Chief takes on the form of the person playing the console.
Yeah, just wait until you play it in 3D.
And you can see the sweat lines. It's so real.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Just out of interest, I don't know if you guys saw, but speaking of the Xbox One, I saw a very, very amusing picture today of some demonstration, apparently demonstration Xboxes that were doing some kind of tech demo. And there's a row of TVs, and supposedly there are Xbox Ones in the cabinet underneath powering said TVs. And someone took a picture while one of these cabinets were open, and it was all PCs in the cabinet. Of what Microsoft were claiming were Xbox Ones.
Yeah.
And it was all PCs. And this is a game that is going to be exclusive to the Xbox One. And we're like, you've made it on the PC.
And it crashed to Windows.
Yeah. And you're not going to do a PC version of it. And it's just, it's hilarious. I tell you, that Xbox One, that is a social and business car crash in perpetual motion.
They are simply messing up every single way that they can get their message across. They're just finding every way to just mangle the message in the absolute worst way they can.
As Tetra and Featherprop do bring up, it is not uncommon for PCs to stand in for developing hardware. I mean,
true.
The PS4s were actually running on dev kits, which is why the AC4, the Assassin's Creed 4 demo was so glitchy. They're running on a dev kit. So, I mean, they don't have the physical like finished units aren't out there yet. Even the Giant Bombcast, at the end of the thing, they were doing their roundup, and they had the Xbox guy on the night before, and he brought a controller, and so Sony stepped in and their representative brought a controller and the console itself. It's like, yeah, here you go. I didn't ask, but I'm a VP. It ain't gonna be a thing.
Oh yeah, well I'm
And
bringing
so
the Kinect.
He just
Fine.
handed it over to the Giant Bomb guys to molest, and they all took photos and stacked beer cans to just show people how tall it was.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Microsoft is an interesting one. I think people diss them a lot, but I think ultimately they will win, because the fact is I use Windows 8 at work. I use Windows 8 at home. And eventually everyone will, because Windows 7 will stop being supported. And then to a point where, you got that Word document that you did at home. And when you get to work, you log in with your Live ID, and there it is, along with all your music and your desktop settings and everything else. And you can check it on your Windows phone. And, well, you might as well ditch your iPad and get a Windows Surface tablet, because then when you're in the meeting, you can open Office and show them all your nice little spreadsheet, and then do some graphs, and then send it back to your PC and your at work and at home and everywhere else. And of course, Windows Office 365 is just like Google Docs and Dropbox and Office all in one. So it's saved on your hard drive, it's in the Sky drive, it's uploaded, downloaded, share loaded. And even if you visit your friend, you can go to the friend's house and it'll download Office Lite onto their PC. You can use it with your Live ID temporarily while you're at your mate's house who doesn't even have Office. And that's the point, okay, it's
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I think
eventually everyone will end up using it, because everyone does use it, and it'll all be easy to use because it's all the same platform. Eventually, everything. It's just
you might be right, and
we're in an annoying bit where it doesn't really quite work yet at the moment.
Yeah, it's just occurred to me as well is that the Microsoft and the Xbox One they might even be ahead of the curve. I mean, I was just looking at the chat, and Twisted Haywire just said Xbox is just a PC, the PS3 was a bit different, etc., etc. And I mean, when I've been discussing the Xbox One on forums and things like that, one of the things that I've been pointing out is that Microsoft, they took a look at the PC game market, they took a look at Steam, and they said all these PC gamers, they've got DRM, they can't trade in, they can't resell or lend games or anything like that, and they're perfectly happy with it. So let's do that on the Xbox. It would be brilliant. Now, they're absolutely true, but the difference is that PC games, a AAA PC game at release is 30 quid at worst. Quite often you can find it cheaper if you shop around. And when it's not, as soon as it's been out for more than a month or two, you can find it for 20 quid, £15, maybe even under £10. A lot of games I buy on Steam are less than a tenner. Now, that's why we don't mind, because the games are so cheap.
Right, you're getting a good value.
That's right. And if Microsoft can bring that value to the Xbox One, then that it will all come together and it will all make sense, and that will definitely win them the console wars, because that model saved the PC game, the PC platform as a gaming platform.
Yep.
I mean, I'm tired of stuff. What I need to do. I have a PC, I have a laptop, I have a Samsung tablet, I've got a Samsung phone, a smartphone. And I struggle. I use Dropbox, I use Google Docs, and I use OpenOffice on one PC and Microsoft Office on another one. And I struggle to change things into other things and stick things in one service and upload to another service and download and change it to another service. And then I open something on my Samsung phone and I can't view it because I haven't got the right software. And it's annoying. I can my phone will put things on the television because it's wirelessly linked, but it doesn't work properly. Nothing really works properly. And the person who manages to get all my stuff and get rid of it and replace it with one platform that works will be the winner. So I'm tired of different programs, different platforms, different boxes on my telly.
I do have to say I had...
Oh, wow. Okay.
I had the first experience of something like that the other day, because I have a Nexus 7 as well as I have a Google TV device. And I just found out that I could push videos from my little Nexus 7 up to the TV, and I'm just sitting here going like, this is amazing. I don't have to watch stuff on this little thing anymore. It's literally a remote control. Time to watch.
I would say, once you get to a point where your PC at work, your PC at home, is like that, and your TV has got an Xbox One underneath it, and you're watching telly through that, and then all of a sudden you think, well, you know what, a tablet or a phone, so I'll get a Windows phone and a Windows tablet, and suddenly all that stuff links seamlessly between whatever device. And suddenly, no one cares what actual hardware you're using. It's more about what am I doing with it.
Yeah,
and
I think
an email, I'm writing a Word document on anything.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Matt. I mean, Google are bloody close to having that, if not they've already got it. Because, I mean, for the longest time, because, I mean, my main laptop is a MacBook Pro, so I'm an Apple guy there. And for the longest time, I was using Safari because that's what you use on a Mac. But a couple of weeks ago, well, about a month ago now, I switched over to Chrome on my Mac. And all of a sudden, I found that the synchronization for Google stuff, especially when you're using Chrome, is just pure magic. And this is why now, I mean, in front of me at the moment, I've got 3 laptops, and now I've got Skype running on the left one. Now, if one of you guys puts a link in the Skype chat, I click on that, it opens in Chrome, and I'm like, hang on a minute, I want to have a look at this on my big laptop, on my Mac. And so I open Chrome, and I can click in the bottom right, and I can transfer the tab between 2 completely separate laptops straight away. And likewise, you know, if I go over to work, I open Chrome on the laptop that I've got on my desk at work, and in the bottom right, I can click on other tabs from other devices and open everything that's open on my home computer in an instant, and just instantly transfer my session to a different computer. And it's changed the way I work now. Instead of moving my MacBook Pro around all the time, I just have a laptop at each of the locations I sit at, and I can just move my session between them. And it's brilliant. It's changed the way I do things.
Mm-hmm. One thing that we're talking about Steam and Xbox and all that stuff right now. I don't see Microsoft allowing game sales like CD Projekt Red's Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings being sold for $6.79.
But why not? If it's 6 months later or a year later, why not drop the price down?
But they don't. That's the thing. It's like they have stuff that's $10, $20 on any shelf, but there's still the regular price on the digital store.
I think they'll learn.
You would hope they learn.
When people stop buying stuff, when people don't buy those games, they'll think, they're going to the store and buying it instead.
I mean, really, I think you bring up a really good point there. If you took Sony and Microsoft at their technical standpoints right now, both of the consoles are almost identical. Like, besides a little bit of tweaking with the memory, like the memory usage on the both, they're both nearly identical.
They've got practically the same CPU, haven't they? So
it's the big difference is going to be a lot in user design and what they do. If pretty much here's the thing: if one of them is smart and does something like Steam and allows for variable pricing, that's huge. Like if either of them allows the actual publisher to say, you can have a sale today, like, and they can just say, all right, all of our titles are 50% off, go buy them. Like, that's one of the reasons that Steam is so, it
will really work. I mean, Steam has got a wildly successful business model on doing these fire sales on games, because they've got some kind of sale going on practically all the time where you can pick up cheap games. And I mean, the Humble Bundle is another really good example about this. For those of you who don't know, the Humble Bundle is a bundle of either indie games or some other well-known game that's just not a current release anymore, where they'll put a couple of games together and you pay what you want for it. And if you pay more than the average price that people are paying, you get a couple of extra bonuses as well. So a lot of the time you can pick up, like the last one that I bought, it was after THQ went under, and I got Darksiders 1, and the original bundle was Darksiders 1, Darksiders soundtrack, and a couple of Red Faction games. And if I paid more than $6 for it, I also got Darksiders 2 and another Red Faction game and the soundtracks for those. So I paid about $7. So it's $7, and I got about five games that at release were sort of, say AA games, not full-on blockbusters, but still pretty big games. And these Humble Bundles are wildly successful. They make huge amounts of money on them, and we're getting really good games really cheap. The sale platform works you sell at a low price in big numbers, and you'll make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I ever paid full price for a Command and Conquer game, except maybe the very first one. But I love that series, and so did a lot of other people. I mean, they're still selling it as white label, £5 on the shelf. It still sells because it's an amazing game.
Like the original, the Moving Out. That.
Yeah, I remember that. That was my childhood.
Were you a GDI or a nod?
GDI. Iron Cannon.
Yeah, I've got to say, I mostly went GDI. I did play, but I played both. I played through the campaign for both. But given the choice, GDI.
I feel like you had to be a little bit smarter with Nod, just because their tank was so wimpy.
Yeah.
Because but you could make so many of them. Like you could just try and tank swarm pretty much.
In my defense, though, I did always play the Russian.
Whoa! Yeah. All of a sudden, someone a Nod faction just drove past you.
Yeah, I just had a really, really noisy scooter go by outside my house. Sorry.
It's all right. You were saying?
Yeah, Red Alert. I always played the Russians because they were fun.
Yeah.
They always had the dogs, which were a pain.
Yes, I like dog troops and the flamethrowers and things. But yeah, I mean, that series, they must have sold billions of those things. And they price pointed it, it was 40 quid new, but once it came down quick.
Yeah.
And people still play it. I mean, it's still available. You can still pick up the Command and Conquer entire series on CD collection for a $5 wherever.
I mean, I think ultimately, looking at what's out there right now, I'm probably going to end up getting a PS4 because, sincerely, I've been really liking PlayStation Plus. Like the fact that they're just like, here's a free game, just here, have this, or here's a really good game at a really steep discount. Is like, oh, sweet, all right, I'll give you $5 for that, sure.
Yeah,
it's been a huge boon. Otherwise, I think I might just go PC, and just make a really nice PC, since pretty much everything's going to come to it, because the architecture for both of these machines is basic PC architecture.
Yeah, and what's really funny is that the primary difference between the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One in terms of hardware is the PlayStation 4 has faster RAM and a better better GPU. That's it. They're running the exact same chipsets. They probably have the same similar internal boards.
Yeah.
They're really, really similar. It's more, the big difference is now, their business practices in a lot of ways.
I mean, there is some really interesting stuff that technically could come out of having Kinect, because since Kinect is going to be on all machines and has to be connected on all machines, there technically is some interesting stuff that could come from that, where, since it is native, they can incorporate it for a lot of things. I do understand a lot of the weird security concerns of my console knows if I'm happy or not.
Yeah, it really is down to implementation on this kind of thing. I mean, classic case in point for this is, the Samsung Galaxy S4 phone that came out. All of their headline features are all gimmicks, basically.
You get to edit photos on your phone.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it's awfully clever, but it's a gimmick. It's of no practical use in day-to-day life. And the Kinect, that's the thing with the Kinect. It's very clever, but if they don't find a genuinely practical use for it, it will remain a gimmick, because that's what it is at the moment. It's awfully clever, but no serious game makes proper use of it.
I gotta find a video that will make your face melt a little.
The Leap Motion that I talked about in the
podcast, that's got practical use.
It's at the moment it's a gimmick, but I think their biggest actual real-world application, other than art, will be medical science.
Oh yeah, like Kinects right now already are used in medical science.
Yeah, I mean that's the forward view for that, I think.
I mean, I'm gonna drop the link into the Skype and then also the chat.
Can I just mention Watch Dogs? I mean, I am so excited for Watch Dogs.
Oh, that looks good.
But will it ever come on PC?
Yeah,
I bet it will.
I think so. I'm pretty sure Watch Dogs is gonna come to PC.
Good, because I don't own a console. I never have them. Well, no, I lie. The last console I owned was a Commodore VIC-20, which was the one before the 64.
Yeah, it's coming to PC. November 19th, 2013. The demo they showed at E3 was really slick too.
Turning off all the lights in the city.
Yep.
Yep. You know what, guys? I think we could probably call it here.
Done.
Yep. I'll check with Starry. We might do a little bit of Tekkit in a little bit. Or whatever we would wish to play. But if you want to stay into the stream, you can certainly do that, and we may be playing that in just a few. I'm making a new house, so maybe she can help me build my house or whatever she's doing on the Tekkit server we're playing on.
Oh, when are you doing that? Because I'm into Tekkit at the moment, and I'm like, it's the decision of if I'm going to pull a late nighter for it.
Let's see. I may do it in about what would you say, baby? Yeah, if you want to do it in maybe about 30 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
Or we could wait a little bit. You know, if you want to give everybody a little bit of time to detox from us talking.
I know, we're so full of words. I've got a copy of Windows to break the password on.
Yeah, now I'm going to knock it on the head.
And I'm hitting midnight soon.
Well, tell you what, Starry, how you want to do it? Do you want to just do it tomorrow at noon? We could just play and do a little bit of recording then, or what would you like? I can do whatever. I just you're doing it for your show, so just tell me.
I can do it either today or tomorrow.
Well, just give it time, and we can have all of our friends show up.
I'm quite new to Minecraft, so I haven't even tried Tekkit yet.
Oh, if you're new to Minecraft, Tekkit will blow your mind.
Yeah, I need to make
there's so
macerators and machines and tubes. And
yeah, it's it's as much as I hate to. It's not that I want to put you off or anything, but if you're still new to Minecraft, then check that out before you move on to Tekkit, because Tekkit it's worlds apart. There is so much to build in that.
You can go to the moon. You can go to
it's
you can
a bit
summon
of an overload.
You can summon specialty planes of existence. You know, it's quite crazy.
I'll have a look later then, maybe.
Yeah,
I asked Minecraft because where I work in a software company, and every single person does nothing but talk about Minecraft in the lunch break. I have to try this just so I know what people are talking about.
It's Lego for adults with a little bit of game in it.
Yeah.
So, tell you what, let's do it tonight, baby. Okay.
Okay.
How about 6 p.m. Pacific? That sound good?
What?
6 p.m. Pacific. Okay. So yeah, if you guys want to watch us play Minecraft, we'll start doing a little bit. We'll do Tekkit at about 6 p.m. Pacific. And we'll be jumping on our server. Unfortunately, that means that I'm not sure you're going to be able to make it, Mav. But maybe another time in the future we can. I think I would rather you get a little bit of sleep in.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right. So
I'm going to jet as well. Thanks a lot, guys. I will see you all anon.
All right. Take care.
Later.
All right. So all you listeners out there, 6 p.m. tonight, we'll go ahead and do a little bit of Tekkit, and you can watch us make crazy machines and help me build a house inside of there that keeps getting exploded by millions of creepers. But yeah, join us a little bit later. We'll do that. We'll have a little bit of fun, and that'll be part of Starry's little video series. So, all right, we'll catch you later. Bye, folks.
Later.
Hit and stop the recordings.